Stand by the open. Already open now, guys. Okay. No cue.
Good afternoon, Davison football fans. I'm coming at you from Romeo. I'm John Gerke coming at you with
Mason Palmentier. This is going to be a stunner of a game. Both these teams finished the regular season out 7-2.
Davison took that loss in their final game against Lapeer Lightning, 24-21. That was a heartbreaker. How do you think they're going to bounce back from that?
Well, I hope we can get our passing game going today. I hope we have success through the air, and overall, I hope we beat the Bulldogs, Mason.
Yeah, Sullivan looked pretty good in warm-ups. He was throwing some darts over to Caleb Smith, who's caught for quite a few passing yards this season, too, as well as over 600 rush yards on the season.
Davison has overall outscored Romeo to 407 to 319 this season. We've had an overpowering offense. It just depends if we can get it going through the air today.
Yeah, I mean, Sullivan's hopefully he'll step up. It looks like he had a rough game last time. I mean, that Lapeer defense was fantastic. Couldn't do much about it.
Yeah, both teams coming in at 7-2. This is the first round of the playoffs. Looks like the Bulldogs are getting set to kick. Davison to receive.
Looks like they got Flowers and Fordham in the backfield to catch this kickoff. And these Romeo fans are just electric.
I can feel the shaking from the stands.
Yeah, should be a great game today.
Milan Kretsky to kick off today.
He was going for some 40s in pregame.
He looks solid in pregame. Squib kick, recovered by Davison. It's not going to go far before getting stopped by the Bulldogs, but it's going to come to the 35-yard line for the Davison offense to get set.
Yeah, Carter.
Key to this game is going to be junior Brendan Sullivan's passing game. So far this year, he's got 2,202 passing yards on 28 touchdowns, nearly completed 70% of those passes.
He does have those 7 interceptions, though. That's a little less than 1 a game. Could be better, could be worse. I think it's pretty good for his junior season. And if you can see there, you got some Davison fans on the away side. Everyone's showing out. Could not be more excited to watch some of these Cardinals play.
Fred Sullivan taking the snap. It's going to be bobbled by Caleb Smith and recovered by the Bulldogs on the first play.
What a way to...
That's not how you want to start your first playoff game of the year, Mason.
Yeah, I'm sure Sullivan didn't want to start his first career playoff game starting in the QB in that fashion. It
just looked like they didn't have a clean handoff there.
Yeah, maybe a rough snap. That's
unfortunately
just tough.
recovered by the Bulldogs here. They're going to have pretty good field position to start the game.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to come back from for Cardinals. I mean, that's just going to hopefully not set the pace for them this game. Hopefully they're going to clean it up a bit.
Last year, the first year in the Weingarts era, they finished 7-3, and hopefully it won't be the same story this year.
Well, yeah, last year they lost 3 of their last 4 games to De La Salle, Lapeer, and then in the playoffs.
Brett Miller handing it up. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain for the running back.
Yeah, and I mean, that run game has been dominant for Romeo this year. With that senior presence by St. Clair and Zapsky too.
Yeah, Brian St. Clair is going to pound it down Davison's defensive throats. We're going to see if we can stop them from running the ball on us this whole game.
You know, it's not necessarily been an easy year for the Romeo Bulldogs either. They're in one of the toughest divisions, arguably, in Michigan. I mean, they have last year's defending champs and Eisenhower Utica.
Yeah, one of the 2 teams they lost to was Chippewa Valley, who's on a 22-game win streak, I heard.
Yeah, and only a 4-point loss.
Keeping it right side. It's going to get smoked by a Davison defender, not before he gets the first down today.
And they're just marching off that momentum from that fumble earlier.
Yeah, Brian Zapsky is the one splitting carries with Brett Miller today.
Yeah, it should be fun to see this run game. Usually you don't see too many teams that have more than one versatile running back. I mean, Davison's got Carter Kreiderman, the junior. He's been getting some good handoffs, getting some good plays this year.
The key to clogging up that middle to stop the run game is going to be the middle linebacker, senior Logan Pasco. He's already got 77 tackles this year and 56 solos. Let's see if he can stop him on first down.
Yeah, what a dominant force in the backfield.
Brett Miller handing off down the middle. That's going to be a 10-yard gain and just short of the goal line.
Looks like that put him
It's
right
going to be Brian St. Clair.
Yeah,
This isn't looking too great for the Cardinals defense.
Looks like that put him right around the 2, and that's not where the Cardinals want to be.
Right down the middle every time.
Yeah, Romeo's going to be deadly in the red zones today. I mean, they got a good run game, so they'll be able to run it in whenever. And if that doesn't work out, they got the quarterback to lead the pass game.
We're at 1st and goal here for Brett Miller and the Bulldogs.
Score still 0-0, just 10 minutes and 29 seconds left in the first quarter.
St. Clair and Zapsky in the back, motioning left to St. Clair up the middle. Almost gets stopped at the goal line, but that looks like it's going to be 6-0 Romeo to start the game.
That's a rough way to start it off. Don't want to see that. I mean, that's a rough start for Davison. That fumble earlier on the first play of the game. And then...
Yeah, what an unfortunate turn of events for Davison to start off after receiving the ball, fumbling at first play, and getting recovered at her own 35.
Yeah, Romeo just marched from there. They were in perfect position. Even if they weren't going to get the touchdown, they're certainly going to get 3 off that.
Kicking it through the uprights. Going to be 7-0 Romeo to start the game off. Hopefully Davison can respond here, Mason.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to counteract that.
We're going to need to see the Brendan Sullivan and Latrell Fordham connection here to try to get on the board.
Yeah, we saw it all season. Even though Latrell missed those 2 games, we saw that what a dynamic duo they become.
Yep, Latrell Fordham, the Ball State commit. That's where he's going after school.
Yeah,
after high school.
Sullivan's gotten that offer from Central Michigan, too.
I saw that. Many more to come also.
And then that's just for football. It's got an offer from SVSU, I believe, for basketball.
I saw that he could windmill last year. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's a great player on both sides of the ball. And these Romeo fans are already fired up. Chants left and right. Their student section is all up on their feet. They could not be more excited to see this team going. And this is a team that consistently makes the playoffs, winning the state championship in 2015.
Looks like Fordham and Flowers set to receive in the very back.
Hoping for a better outcome than that last play, or the last drive.
Another squib and a bouncer. It's going to be fielded. Running towards the left side of the field is Fordham. And he gets tackled, looks like just past the 20-yard line and forced back by the Bulldogs.
And a big hit from behind. Fans looked like they were looking for that call, but they're not going to get it from the refs. And that will try to get about 5-10 more yards off that return. Yeah, that's not a good situation. Already having to field 2 kickoffs. All right. Cardinals on their second play of the game here, hoping to get some gain here instead of a fumble.
3 lined up right side. Sully looking to pass. Gets it complete to Latrell Fordham. But only a short gain there as he's wrapped up quickly by Romeo.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams have been quick to double or sometimes even triple Latrell in late game situations. So we're wondering if he's going to be able to get some clear routes today, or if he's going to have all that coverage like normal.
Weingarts likes to line up more than 2 wide receivers out there sometimes. So even if they try to double or triple team, you're going to have other options to throw to. It's just if Sully can complete that pass in that time.
Yeah, he's definitely confident in that pass game, even though Sullivan's a junior.
Sully lining up in the shotgun again. 3 lined up right side, and Caleb with him in shotgun. Hands it off to Caleb left side, getting a couple yards before wrapped up by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that's kind of been a theme of his season. He's had a hit or miss in terms of those runs, like going up the middle.
It's going to be 3rd down and 5 here for the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, once Smith is gone, he is just gone. He can stiff arm, so you're not going to get to him, and he has that speed. He can shoot down that sideline like no one else on this team. Waiting for...
On 3rd down, let's see if the Cardinals offense can keep the drive alive. Sully in shotgun once again, taking the snap. Play action, Sully looking deep, throws before getting hit. He is, Harrison Terry deep, and he drops the ball.
It's just bobbled there at the end. Double coverage, and he
Double
still
coverage.
almost made the grab. That's heartbreaking for them.
Great effort. That was the spark the Cardinals were looking for there. Unfortunate.
Almost converted on third down and some after that. More than some, quite a bit.
Cardinals going to be forced to punt deep in their territory.
Hopkins going to get some action. Yeah, that's just not what they want to see. I mean,
Not the worst look on 3rd and 5.
yeah, it looks like they're going to be able to get some good distance on that punt. Maybe play some good D and stop Romeo's offense.
Hopkins punting deep, straight up, coming down at about the 50, and that's going to be down right across about at the 47-yard line where
Yeah.
Romeo's going to take over. You gotta be able to stop the run defense. They're showing you that they're running it down the middle every single time. It's just a matter of stopping them. They're a powerhouse team, so.
Yeah, that defensive line's got to be aware of that, not just blocking purposes, but being able to break those blocks and get to the running back as soon as possible. And if not them, then linebackers like Pasco.
Davison is first in run defense this year, only allowing 512 yards in the SVO to lead.
Yeah, and in total defensive yards, only beaten out by Lapeer.
Brett Miller taking the snap again. Looking to throw, throwing right, that's going to be incomplete as Caleb Smith was there to break up the pass.
Yeah, quite a big attempt at a grab there. I mean, he flew through the air there. Looks like that pass wasn't even broken up, just took too much. And you wonder if they're going to keep going in the air, if you think they're going to try and run it a bit more this game, because the run seemingly worked after that fumble return, or fumble recovery.
Brett Miller lining up under center. Got Brian St. Clair deep. 2 wide receivers out. Motioning right up the middle again. And that's going to be another big gain for Brian St. Clair. This looks like it's going to be a long night for the Cardinals defense trying to defend the rush.
Yeah, they really got to be aware of that run game and got to be aware of St. Clair. He's been a powerhouse for Romeo this season.
Man is a tank running through the middle. It looks like no one can wrap him up or stop him.
Yeah, they're going to have to pinpoint trying to stop him from getting anything this game. Seemingly they've been more deadly on the ground than they have in the air because that one pass that he threw was incomplete. The rest of the plays have been runs.
Yeah, it would make
they've been
no
successful.
sense for the Bulldogs to throw in this situation when they've gained at least 20 yards, I think, on almost every rush. Brett Miller under center, handing off left side to Zapsky, who
Wrapped up there by Pasco.
that was Jay Nivison on the nice hit stick.
Yeah, and that's what the Cardinals need to see more of. Maybe stop him a couple of yards earlier, but besides that, good defense there by the Cardinals, able to wrap him up. Romeo fans kind of quieted down, waiting for this offense to generate something big, give them something to cheer for.
Every time that running back bursts through the first hole to get past the defense, this crowd erupts, and I can just feel them shaking the stands.
Yeah, they go absolutely berserk.
Brett Miller in the shotgun here. Signal in motion to right side. He's going to hand it off. Fumbled. And was that recovered by the Cardinals? It looks like it was recovered by the Cardinals defense. And
Yeah.
Logan Pasco in his senior year in this first playoff game is going to recover the ball back for the Davison Cardinals for a chance to tie the game at 7 apiece.
Second turnover this game. Man, they're just not doing it on those handoffs. They just keep bobbling. It must be a little bit of miscommunication there. Someone's not taking it or someone's not letting it go fast enough. 7:02 left in the half, or quarter. Still 7-0 Romeo after that turnover.
Now let's see if the Cardinals can respond from a turnover.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to be able to generate here. They looked good in that last drive where they actually had a chance to run some plays. Almost had that big gain to A.J. Terry, but it did not
Sullivan in
work
the
out.
shotgun looking to throw 3 deep. He's going to get nailed in the backfield for the delayed draw that was handed to Caleb, and he just gets stopped 5 yards 5 yards short of the line of scrimmage. Not the greatest look for the Cardinals.
Yeah, looks like Sullivan waited a bit too long there. He looked up for his options, then saw Caleb still there, handed it off.
It's going to be 2nd and 15 here. Cardinals are going to have a long ways to go, but their specialty is the passing game, so hopefully we can get something to spark here.
Yeah, this is a team that likes making big plays in the air, even when they have a junior quarterback man in the scene.
So it's going to have 4 wide for him in shotgun. Dropping back to pass. Throws left side. Latrell Fordham with the... Oh, that's going to be incomplete. Jalen Flowers could not hold on to the ball there.
Yeah, it looks like it just slipped right through his fingers. It's not wet out. It looks like he just had his hands spaced out too far apart.
He heard the footsteps of the Bulldogs coming towards him.
Yeah, just something that you can't have in a playoff atmosphere like this.
3rd and long here for the Cardinals offense.
I do believe this is Flowers' first time in a playoff atmosphere like this, though.
First year playoff, he's a young kid coming in.
We got 6 minutes, 15 seconds left in this quarter as the Cardinals try to generate something on the offensive end.
Solely in the shotgun, looking to complete a pass. Throwing deep to Harrison Terry, who's going to get broken up, and he was out of bounds before he caught it.
Yeah,
the ref is calling it an interception. That is questionable. I thought I saw a foot out of bounds there.
Either way, that's a crazy play. Real teamwork. They're able to tip the pass, and then the other corner is able to see the tip and go in and grab it.
Yeah, what a grab by the Bulldog offense. That's going to be 3 turnovers already here in the first quarter, combining both teams.
But yeah, I didn't think I thought I saw a foot out of bounds. Wonder what the refs are going to get. Are going to talk about that later. Wonder if they're going to think about that one later tonight. But
is that turnover going to haunt the Cardinals for the rest of the game?
Yeah, that's the last thing they need. Already a kind of sloppy first quarter with that fumble in the first play and this interception on their 3rd drive.
Brad Miller under center again. Taking the quarterback keeper straight up the middle for about a gain of 5 just past the 50. We just can't stop them running it up the middle against us.
Yeah, can't even stop the quarterback running. I mean, Lapierre was even harder. Dixon, he's a big guy. You can't stop that guy.
Tank.
Had 2 of the 3 rushing touchdowns in that game against Lapierre. Yeah, I wonder how the Cardinals are going to stop the run game. Maybe those linebackers need to come up a little more, blitz more, or maybe those linemen need to be just a little more
Plug the center up more. Brian St. Clair again. Cardinals off defense going to do a little better job of stopping that. Only gained a 2 or 3 there.
And I wonder how much they're going to run the ball tonight. I mean, they ran it quite a bit. Might deteriorate their running backs a little because they're going to be feeling these hits later in the game when you have guys like Isaac Norton or someone jumping on you.
Yeah, the Cardinals need to find a way to stop the run game here. 3rd and 6 coming up. Huge play. Brett Miller under center. Signal in motion. Is going to hand it left to Zapsky, who's going to get the first down and more. Tackled out of bounds at the 17 by Caleb Smith.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons the run game is unstoppable. They have 2 fantastic running backs manning the ball for them. They got Zapsky and they got St. Clair, so not going to be a problem for them tonight to move the ball up the field on the ground. Going to set this next play up pretty quick, trying to catch the defense off guard.
Brad Miller handing off.
And a flag flies.
Looks like it's going to be a false start on the offense, perhaps.
Yeah, and Davison's been able to get this offense to jump a lot in this season. Able to force a lot of these flags.
And the snap. False start. Number 66 on the offense.
That's going to be a false start on the offense.
Still 2nd down.
It's going to be about 2nd and 15 for Romeo.
First down.
Never mind. It's going to be 1st and 15 for Romeo.
Sounded like the ref said 2nd. Maybe there was a
He
mistake.
did say 2nd, and then he said 1st.
Either way, that's still pretty good field position for Romeo. Wonder how they're going to move this up the field.
Romeo with an interesting offensive set. Pitch right, and that's going to get stopped in the backfield and blown up by no one other than Harrison Unger, who's been huge for the Cardinals defense in the past couple of weeks, having big games.
On the offensive end, too, in those big blowout wins, he's been one of the guys catching a lot of those touchdowns. But, yeah, he's a great performer on the defensive end, too, able to make big tackles, and those players are going to feel him later. And just a junior, too.
Second and 17. The Bulldogs have a long way to go here. Hopefully the Cardinals can get a stop.
Yeah, if they want to convert for another first down, they might have to do that in the air this drive.
But they're not comfortable with. They're normally a running team. Brett Miller taking the snap again. Handing off far side to Zapsky, who's going to take the corner and get tackled by Jalen Flowers out of bounds.
Ball carried by number
Yeah, and it
8,
looks like
Austin
Rosala was
Red.
ready to put a hit stick on him, but he was getting brought down by another blocker to his left.
Stopped by number 23.
Might have been brought down a little sooner if he had
Jake-
seen him a
Jake
bit.
Davison.
This Romeo team is no joke on the ground. The only way the Cardinals are going to stay in this is showcasing their impressive offense.
I mean, they do have a pretty good defense, too. Second in the SVL for least yards allowed.
Not showing it so far today. Brett Miller under center again. Gonna do the option. Throwing it. And he's going to get the first down right past the 20. Brian St. Clair again catching the ball this time instead of running it up the middle.
Key player in their offense tonight, it looks like. Just not on the ground, but on the air, too. On that play action there, it worked perfectly. He was wide open and had nothing but green in
He's
front of him.
everywhere this game.
Kind of like Caleb Smith, he's been able to do a lot on the ground and in the air. Got some real versatile running backs this game.
Romeo creeping in into touchdown territory. Running the option again. It's going to be taken right side for the first down by Zapsky again.
Some versatile running backs. Looks like there's two for the Romeo Bulldogs.
Yeah, Zapsky and Brian St. Clair are taking the rush load on for the Bulldogs
Yeah,
this game.
they're really heading the charge for the Bulldogs on this drive.
And that last pass caught by Brian St. Clair for the first down.
Got about 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Romeo's still up 7-0, and now in their touchdown territory. Wonder if they're going to make something out of this play. A lot of motion there.
Romeo motioning. Brett Miller to hand off left side. Straight up the middle, and the Cardinals are able to stop them for about a gain of 1 or 2. Harrison Unger back there, active on the defensive end.
Get some great awareness from him to break away from the block and bring him down almost immediately after he gets the ball. Big tackle there. Could have been a touchdown there, but he was there to stop him. He's going to have to be on it this game if he wants to stop more plays like that from going in, especially when they're running it like that. Second down here, or first down here for the Bulldogs.
Looks like first and goal, Brett Miller. Signaling, handing off to Zapsky, who gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage
Ball carried by number
by
5,
big
Brian
77
Stopped by number 71,
Sidney Willis.
Jake Holly.
Yeah, just not so much gain in here in the red zone. This is when the Cardinals really need to step up their
Second
defense,
down.
and they're doing just that, making some clutch tackles.
Yeah, Cardinals needs to read the option and try to stop the run up the middle to get a goal line stop.
Yeah, it looks like Romeo's going outside a lot more on this one, trying to maybe save their running backs the hits that would come with going up the middle. Gonna have to do something here to generate a
Romeo
spark.
with about 9 more yards to goal line. Brett Miller under center. Fakes it to Zapsky straight up the middle with St. Clair, and he's going to be stopped.
Looks like he's right at the one.
Just short of the goal line.
Ball carried by number 34,
Cardinals are going to have a
Brian St.
huge
Clair.
third down stand here.
Yeah,
He's stopped by number
all these
5,
Romeo
Brian
fans
St.
shot their hands up, and then they went, oh, had to bring it right back down. Thought he was
Yeah,
in, but
they
he
thought he
wasn't.
scored there.
Yeah, just at the one.
Look at big 77 there, who needs to clog the middle for a defensive end. Brett Miller tries to sneak it, and he's going to get in with ease, making the score 13-0 Romeo late here in the first.
Yeah, and that's rough. I mean, Cardinals had a good attempt there on offense there in the red zone, or defense there in the red zone, but they couldn't make it happen there. As Romeo just inched in little by little and was able to get a touchdown, second of the game.
The Cardinals looked really good on their rushing defense in the season, leading the SVL in yards allowed of 512. But this is obviously not the story playing against different competition in a playoff game here. And the Cardinals are getting showed up on the ground today and not controlling the line of scrimmage whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty inconsistent from what we've seen so far. They're able to stop them sometimes, and then other times they just fall apart and allow a 15, 20-yard gain on the ground. They got to clean that up a bit if they want to have a chance at stopping this Romeo offense.
Yeah, Weingarts needs to make some adjustments to our defense.
Yeah, maybe get a more defensive-minded approach, because their offense seems all right as long as they can just generate some better passes, because they've had some close passes, like with that one at A.J. Terry here at around the 40. But, I mean, I don't know. They just need to focus a little bit more on their defense. The offense doesn't seem to be a huge problem right now, as long as they don't let Romeo run up the scoreboard, because now it's starting to seem like a Davison game against another team. We'd run up the score to 14-21 in the first quarter.
Flowers and Fordham back to receive deep. Hopefully the Cardinals can get some sort of spark to try to cut the deficit down in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and these first two returns were right around the 20-yard line. So I wonder if he's going to be able to get a big gain like they have on other returns this season.
This kicker's been getting some nice squibs on. Another squib kick. Fordham to take it. It's getting swamped by defenders. Takes it out of bounds before taking the hit.
Yeah, nice
That's
work.
not the prettiest return there, getting tackled way before the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and that's exactly why they're doing these squib kicks. It allows all those blockers to get up there and stop them way before they can get a gain. And it's working out perfectly. As you can see, he's forced out of bounds right around the 10 there.
Now let's see if Sully can get back to his normal self and do what he's been doing great all season long, throwing the ball downfield.
Yeah, I mean, in warm-ups, it looked like he was throwing some deep passes. So it's like he's prepared to throw some of those today. He already threw that one to Terry, but it was just tipped.
Cardinals looking to get some good looks here on offense. Sully back with Caleb to his left. Two receivers deep right. Terrell in motion. That's going to be a false start on the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, saw that right away. All three refs threw their flags out.
Bringing them back 5 yards.
2 turnovers and a flag already. The Cardinals got to clean up their play if they want something.
Not a great start to the offensive end of the Cardinals.
Well, yeah, that first drive they had started off with a turnover. The second drive ended in a turnover. And their third drive started in a flag. I wonder if they're going to be able to generate anything here. I mean, this is
that's
safety
their only
territory.
hope. They got to start generating some sort of offense on the ground or within the air.
This is safety territory, too, if Romeo can push Sullivan back far enough into the end zone and get a sack.
Sully catching, handing off to Caleb Smith for a gain of about 3 or 4 there, it looks like.
Yeah, not the biggest gain in the world, but right now they'll probably take it. Anything to get them farther away from their own end.
Better than a turnover, that's for sure.
Yeah, better than that fumble and interception earlier this game. Just in the first quarter, too. That's quite a bit of action for just one quarter.
I thought the Bulldog defender there definitely had a foot out of bounds on the interception. I'm still kind of salty about that one.
Yeah, I mean, they'll play on. And the clock's going to wind down as the first quarter comes to a close. Romeo's up 14-0. What do you think Davison could improve on in this game so far? Because it seems like there's quite a few things that they need to clean up.
Well, the offense is a complete mess. They haven't been able to move the ball at all. Sloppy penalties on both ends. And you can't stop their run game up the middle. They're showing us what they're going to do every time, and they're continuing to just run it straight up the middle at us.
Yeah, they really need to clean up that defense, stop those runs from going up and outside, too, because Romeo can run that ball anywhere. It doesn't matter where.
I mean, the Cardinals' defense isn't playing terrible. They've been pinned in terrible spots. I don't think – have the Bulldogs been past their own 50 yet this game?
I don't think so. It's just they're getting some bad field position on the defensive end. And on the offensive end, They just got to connect more passes, it looks like. I mean, they're able to get some gain on the run game with Caleb Smith getting a 3 or 4 yard there before the quarter closed out. But if they connect some more passes, they'd be golden right now.
Yeah, let's see if Coach Weingart can make some adjustments for the Cardinals and make this a closer game here as we're nearing the second quarter.
Yeah, and Romeo's always a team that loves to compete. I mean, they're playing with some of the best teams in the state. I believe Max Prep ranked Chippewa Valley the best team in their division, the 3rd team in the state, and then Utica Eisenhower 22nd, and Romeo was up there too. So they have some pretty stiff competition that they're able to keep it close with most of the time.
Solely lined up deep in their territory in the shotgun. 3 receivers left. He gets pressured up. Solely escaping the pressure. He's going to run for it, and he has some room. He's going to get thrown out of He's going to go out of bounds before he gets tackled.
Yeah, and it looks like Latrell didn't make that block quite right there. If he could have gotten a better handle, better set on his feet there, he could have made that block and allowed Sullivan to go an extra couple of yards. But besides that, great play by Sullivan, able to see that there's no one open. He's going to just take it himself. And breaking that tackle in the backfield, too, able to run it up and get a pretty good gain.
Already 3rd and 11 here for the Cardinals offense.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to come back. They got to generate something here.
Cardinals struggling to gain a first down. Solely back deep.
He's got Smith next to him.
Zalin Smith. Smith right up the middle is going to lose his footing.
It looks like he was expecting a big hit from someone there, but he wasn't. He would have had nothing but green if he had stayed on his feet there.
Cardinals.
First down Cardinals.
First down Cardinals, it sounded like. I guess it's going to be a first down. Caleb Smith getting that there. Maybe that's why he fell.
Caleb did end up getting the first down on that play.
I wonder if they're going to rely on him anymore this game. I mean, might be just a ground game today. A lot of running, I mean, Sullivan having that run there, and now Smith hitting that.
Sullivan back deep, wide receivers on both sides. Going to hand it up to Caleb Smith down the middle. He's going to get about a gain of 3 at the 30 there. Not too bad compared to our other offensive possessions. Hopefully the Cardinals can get a drive going here.
Yeah, I mean, this game might just be whoever runs the best. I mean, Romeo's 2 touchdowns have been on rushes, one by St. Clair and one by the quarterback. So and if Davison can't stop it, then it's going to be in trouble for them, especially when Romeo has such a versatile run game. Because they never know who's going to run it. It might be Zapsky, it might be the quarterback, it might be St. Clair.
Fordham, Flowers, Terrell, and Harrison all out wide here with Sully in the shotgun and Caleb beside him. He's going to throw a quick slant to Latrell, who cuts it upfield for the first down. And this is the first time I think the Cardinals have gained consecutive first downs.
Yeah, it looks like Latrell was looking for a call there. Don't know what, but great vision there on the field. Able to find that hole in the defense and also break that tackle right around his ankles. Some great play there by Latrell. Missing 2 games this season, but still able to be at the top of the leaderboards in the SVL for points scored.
Sullivan finding his targets here in this possession. Let's see if he can keep it going in this drive for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Solely motioning Latrell. Taking a snap, fumbles it, but turns right. He's going to throw it to Latrell, and that is going to be off target.
And it all started with that bad snap. I mean, that's what forced the turnover, and that's what forced the bad play there.
That is a killer.
Wait for Sullivan to recover, though, and almost complete that pass there.
Yeah, that should have been a negative gain of about 10 or 15, but Sullivan turned nothing into something and threw it away.
Yeah, he had a mob of big Bulldogs chasing after him, and he was able to break away from them and almost complete that pass to Latrell, but he obviously wasn't prepared for something like that to happen, and it's going to result in no gain.
Solely in the shotgun, 3 right. Stepping back, pressure by the Bulldogs. Sullivan is going to get sacked by number 44.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Romeo needed to do there. Stop that pass game, because you saw they had 3 out wide and 1 near the sideline. So he was prepared to pass it, and good on them to make the sack and push Davison back even farther, force another pass that they're going to be ready for this time.
It's going to be a 3rd and very long for the Cardinals here, hoping to complete a long pass or find some magic.
Yeah, it looks like the offensive line wasn't expecting a blitz there, but those Bulldogs came running through and brought Sullivan down in a heartbeat before he could even think about what to do. He almost broke that hole there.
Michael Heldman on the sack there.
Yeah, Sullivan almost found that hole, but he got his ankles wrapped up and he couldn't do much after that.
Looks like Weingarts is going to call a timeout on the Davison Cardinals sideline.
Yeah, they need to convert this third down because they really need to finally generate something. I mean, second quarter, you can't be playing this sloppy now.
Yep, Cardinals looking to still get on the board. 3rd and long.
What do you think Weingarts is saying to that huddle right now? What do you think he's trying to get in their head?
Hail Mary, throw it up to Latrell, pray he catches it.
That'd be cool to see. I mean, Terry almost caught that one earlier.
That's the best that we can hope for.
Yeah, Latrell's made some good plays, too, this year. Wonder what they're going to try and generate here. Going to have to be a deep pass if they want to convert this. And if not, they're going to have to hope Hopkins gets a good punt. His last punt was very high, and then it rolled back a bit, so it wasn't the best field position, and it resulted in a touchdown for the Bulldogs after they marched up the field with their run game, like usual.
Yep, Cardinals trying to get some sort of offense going here. Latrell Fordham, despite missing 2 games, first in the SVL in receiving yards, touchdowns, and yards per reception. See if he can make something happen here on this long 3rd down. 3rd and 18 for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he was averaging 24.7 yards per reception, and 11 out of those 29 receptions he had were touchdowns. So fantastic season for the Ball State commit.
Sullivan has 3 wide receivers outright. Jalen Flowers, Latrell, and Derry. Rolling right is Sullivan. Trying to look deep. Throwing across the pressure. He's going to have Latrell open. Did he make that catch?
He grabbed it in with one hand and pulled it in.
He did not, and that is not a good sign. It looks like Latrell is injured, but what a phenomenal play by the senior, Latrell Fordham. I had to wipe my eyes to make sure that just happened. He caught that with one hand.
Yeah, he reached out and it fell right into his hand perfectly, and it was able to pull it in and get some extra gain after the catch. But he's been plagued by injury this season. He missed 2 games.
Did miss 2 games. That was huge in the De La Salle loss where the Cardinals couldn't put up a single point that whole game. And that's not a good sign seeing your best player shaken up.
Yeah, he was injured just 2 nights after being crowned homecoming king in the homecoming game. And just after that, sat out the Saginaw Arthur Hill game too, so he got some rest, but it seems like he's been getting hit pretty hard. And it's kind of hard when you're a tall, lanky guy like him to stop getting injured or to avoid injury, because there's some heavy hitters on these defense.
And they're going to say Sullivan was over the line of scrimmage there, so that will be an incomplete pass, and he erased the highlight from Latrell Fordham, who made the one-handed grab, and that's going to force the Cardinals to a 4th down and a punt instead of being in the Bulldogs' territory, ready to score.
Yeah, that's just heartbreaking.
Wow.
From a fantastic highlight play to having an injured star wide receiver and having to punt. That's
they were saying Sullivan was over the line of scrimmage a little bit there before he threw, and that's why it is an illegal pass.
Yeah, it looked like he was considering running it down there, but he saw Latrell, but it looks like he might have seen him a little bit too late. He was over that line.
What a highlight. Gabe Hopkins to punt here, kicking it deep. He's going to bounce it about the 40, back to the 30, to the 20. What a punt there by Gabe Hopkins.
Yeah.
It's going to be downed.
Right around the 18, and rolled perfectly. A lot better than that last one, which rolled back over into their own territory.
Yep.
Hopkins has had a crazy
What a
season.
heartbreaking drive by the Cardinals there.
Yeah, Hopkins has had a great season, though. I mean, 55 extra points. That's ridiculous. And he also had his own touchdown. He was 3rd in scoring in the SVL Red. Looked like there's another player down.
Looks like a Bulldog is injured there on the far right.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there. Maybe a big block, maybe fell wrong. It's 2 injuries back-to-back. That's not what you want to see, especially in the playoffs.
Well, both teams are fighting hard for this W, and it's going to come with some injuries and some sacrifice from both teams.
Yeah, and Davison already had to sacrifice Latrell earlier this season, let him sit out the Arthur Hill game. He still led the lead. That side led the SVL in points scored, though.
Hopefully Sullivan can return to this game and be an impact. As you see, he's walking around gingerly.
Yeah, he's been shaken up a little bit this game.
He's going to be checked out by the Cardinals medical staff. He does not look too happy.
Yeah, and he got shaken up a bit last game too. Heard about his shoulder maybe being a little sore. But he looked good today in warm-ups, throwing it around. Threw some pretty deep passes, but now his leg is the problem, it looks like. And it looks like the Bulldog is going to march off the field holding his left leg.
Number 54, Jacob Plote, injured for the Bulldogs. Hope he gets well and gets back into the game here soon.
Yeah,
Bulldogs on offense in 1st and 10 with Brett Miller ready to take the snap. Motioning Zapsky to the right side
looks like they're going to run this here.
every time.
Even in their own end too.
Brett Miller faking the play action, looking to pass, throws it deep, and that's going to be incomplete.
Maybe that's why they haven't been running it much, because
Inside receiver
those
number
2 passes that they
21,
have
Rob
thrown, one was incomplete
Second
and that one was pretty high. Just a little bit too high for the receiver to get up and grab it in time.
That was a nice play action by Brett Miller there.
Yeah, the play
Just couldn't
drawn
make
up
the
was
throw.
nice. It was a good idea for a play, just did not work out though. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do this time. Wonder if they're going to run it again. I mean, clearly the pass game hasn't been too strong today.
How's the string? Is it still buffering a lot?
Brett
Score-
Miller here in 2nd and 10.
Score still 14-0, 8 minutes 47 seconds left in the half. Romeo still leading.
Cardinals looking to find a way to stop these Bulldogs, and the call is going to be blown dead. And a timeout here by, looks like Romeo.
Yeah, a lot of motion there at the end. Maybe there's some miscommunication. They didn't want to run a bad play there to figure things out. And it looks like Sullivan isn't getting checked out anymore. Maybe he's cleared to play the rest of this game. Looks like he's over there maybe in the huddle too. That's just not what you want to see. 3 players possibly injured on the same 2 plays. Especially in the playoff atmosphere, because you're going to need them if you're going to make a playoff run. And with Logan Pascal, Caleb Smith, Davison looks like they want to make a playoff run. But if they want to, they're going to have to generate a bit more offense this game. Still scoreless for them as they're being beat 14-0 by Romeo Bulldogs.
Romeo coming out of the timeout, looking to straighten some things up on offense, even though hasn't been too bad so far, beating the Cardinals 14-0.
Yeah, it just looked like there's a bit of confusion on that last play, a lot of motion.
Run the option again. He's going to hand it off left side to Zapsky, who gets tackled, looks like right at about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and with that option, when you have those 2 running backs cross by each other, honestly doesn't really matter which one takes it. They're both going to get a pretty decent gain.
Yeah, it's a nice triple option. You either have the pitch or fake the handoff or keep it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, didn't work out too well there, though. Didn't look like they had much of a gain, or if they did, pretty little.
Cardinals looking to keep, have been keeping the run game to a minimum in the last 2 possessions. Hasn't been the worst defense so far. It's going to be a nice 3rd and 9 stand here.
Yeah, Romeo's not liking this field position.
Cardinals looking to get a stop, what would be huge before half. Brett Miller trying to throw, intercepted by senior Logan Pascal on his 2nd interception of the year, and that is huge for this Cardinals team. What a turn of events.
Wanted to take it to the house.
8 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. You can cut the deficit in half here with a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what these Cardinals needed to get fired up. You know, when they get hot, they don't stop being hot. I mean, against Lapeer, they started out hot and they stayed hot. Hopefully they can do the same thing today. I mean, with a touchdown or with an interception to return back to the Romeo Bulldogs own 10, that's huge for the Cardinals. Almost guaranteed a touchdown because their red zone offense is amazing.
Hopefully the Cardinals can punch it in for 7 here. Latrell lining up left side, coming back in the game. That is a very good sign for the Cardinals here.
Same with Sullivan, too. Hopefully they don't aggravate an injury, maybe.
Sullivan in the shotgun. Running it up the middle is Caleb Smith with a nice little couple-yard gain, and that's going to be about second or 1 or 2 from the goal line.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. I mean, they're going to be able to run this one in if they get close enough.
Forward progress is good progress.
Absolutely. And these Romeo fans are just silenced by that interception. Surprised that Romeo called the timeout. I thought Davison would because they don't want to mess this drive up. But, I mean, I'm sure they're not complaining. They have plenty of time to talk over how to nail this one into the end zone. Hopefully that might generate something for Davison because, I mean, that visitor side and that sideline seemed pretty fired up after the senior was able to make that grab.
Yeah, Logan Pasco with the huge interception, the 3rd on the year. He's already got 76 tackles, 56 of them solo, and 16 tackles for loss. He's a huge player to this Cardinals defense.
Yeah, just an absolute force in the backfield. And, I mean, it's so fun to watch him, too, when he makes those big hits.
He's an energetic player for sure.
Absolutely. Waiting for the Cardinals to come out of this timeout here, hopefully fresher than before after that interception. Wonder what the Bulldogs are trying to talk over. Maybe looks like someone may have ran their route wrong there, or maybe the pass was too low. Wonder what happened on that to result in that interception. Or maybe it was just simply great play awareness by Pasco.
Weingart sending his offense out here for a goal line formation. With Caleb running the Wildcat, no Sullivan out there. Caleb's going to take a right side where he finds space, and he's going to get caught just short of the end zone. That's going to be a 3rd down for the Cardinals. Now it's do or die time.
Yeah, that tackle swept him out under his feet, wasn't able to recover from it, and brought down right around the 2.
If you get stopped on 3rd down here, do you kick it or go for it on 4th?
I think you go for it because they need to generate something. But at the same time, a field goal could be good because if they rally a comeback later on in the game, that could be huge. That could give them the lead they need.
That is true. I'd like to see them go for it. Hopefully cut the deficit in half and feel good going into half.
Some tell me they're going to come back from the half pressure and make this game a real stunner to watch.
Sullivan taking the snap and shotgun. Giving it to Caleb Smith, who is going to pound it in what it looks like to be the Cardinals' first touchdown of the game, making it 6-14. What a huge play for the Cardinals' offense before half.
Smith's not too energetic, though. It looks like it's strictly business for him in his first senior playoff game.
Possibly his last game of his career. He's got to make it a good one.
Yeah, and he has so far with that touchdown. Same with Pasco with that interception and some great tackles earlier. Gabe Hopkins coming out now to punch in his 56th extra point on the season, I believe. And we got 6 minutes, 43 seconds left in this half.
Brendan Densmore holding the snap.
Davison looking to make it 14-7 now. And
Davison cuts the deficit in half, 14-7 here with 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the second. Davison looking to maybe get a stop and tie it up before half. That would be great here.
Yeah, I mean, either way, that touchdown's a huge morale booster on that sideline, and that's what you need in a game like this because they're coming in and they're knowing that Romeo is a consistently good team, and it's a team they've never played before, so they don't know how to prepare for them. But they fared decently well. Just need to stop that run game.
I think that was the 4th turnover of the game between
yeah, I
both
think
teams.
So. Each team has a
Hasn't
fumble
been
and
the
an
cleanest.
interception.
Yeah, for sure.
Just not, I mean, that interception, though, for Romeo still was kind of iffy. It looked like he may have been out.
I still can't believe that Luttrell catch got called back because Sullivan was past the line of scrimmage throwing it. That was one of the craziest plays I've ever seen live in my life.
Yeah, one of the most important things about being a quarterback, especially in high school, is like awareness of where that's going to be. Even though you're in the middle of that play, you got to know where it is so something like that doesn't happen. And he's been pretty good about that all season. I'm pretty sure that's the first time he's been called for something like that. But otherwise, he's had a pretty great season, especially for filling in the shoes of Cannon Hall, who's actually come back to quite a few games and helped him keep his head up through the season, through all the ups and downs.
Gage Hopkins here to kick it off for the Cardinals.
And he's had some pretty inconsistent punts. Some are good, some are bad. We haven't seen many kickoffs from him because they've all been to Davison after those 2 touchdowns.
Cardinals kicking it deep. for Romeo to receive. It's going to be caught and carried to about, looks like about the 26 or 27 before Davison pushes him out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a solid return. Maybe you want to see Davison doing the same thing Romeo is, squibbing it and letting their blockers get up there. But if he's going to squib, then he's got to really make sure it bounces quite a bit and is unpredictable enough for Romeo to not grab it in time.
This would be absolutely huge if the Cardinals defense could find some way, somehow to get a stop here.
Yeah, but I mean, with Romeo running it like usual, there might be a lot of time winding down on the clock, unless they can get a lot of first downs or run it out. Only have one receiver lined up, so looks like they're going to run it.
Zapsky taking it right side, not finding room. Nice 2 stiff arms before getting thrown out of bounds. Looks about negative gain of 1.
Yeah, that's not what you want on that. Good stiff arm, good technique, but wasn't able to turn it into anything. Just
those white jerseys swarm the backfield on the pitch there.
Yeah, it looks like they're a little bit more
not
prepared.
able to get a lot of yardage.
Yeah, this defense has really been able to adapt quite well to the teams they've faced that have been competition. I mean, Lapeer, they kept it very close, and they were most of the time able to stop Dixon's run game. Yeah. Taking it up the sideline, and it's going to be Zapsky brought down just before the 40. Finally getting some positive gain on there.
Number 5, Ryan Chapsky. He's stopped by number 23, Jay Nivison.
That's a pretty good way to turn his game around after that negative gain last time.
Bulldogs with a first down here. Time winding down in the second. About 6 minutes to go until halftime of this first playoff game. Both teams 7-2 going at it in a dogfight right now, literally playing against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Cardinals against Bulldogs, first time.
Right up the middle is Brett Miller with a huge carry. 30, 20, 10, and to the house. That is going to put the Cardinals down 2 scores and 20-7 here before half.
St. Clair was just around a 60-yard touchdown. Saw nothing but green as soon as he broke through. Able to take that to the house.
He busted that hole and didn't look back. Nothing but green.
Yeah, and he had no people to worry about on his side. Just all I had to worry about was getting to the end zone in that foot race. And that's exactly what Davison did not want there. After cutting that lead in half, it's going to be even harder to work it back up to where they want to be. Romeo's been running the score up pretty well in the first half. I mean, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Davison almost got to that extra point there and blocked it up through the uprights to put it at 21-7.
Yeah, don't sleep on their special teams. I mean, in that Lapeer game, in the overtime, they were able to block a field goal, but it was called dead before they could return that for any
That is
points.
true. A bunch of the players were calling that controversial, that it should have been returned, and that would have forced them to play Grand Blanc. But here we are in the scenario versus the Bulldogs, down 21-7. Looking to answer is the Cardinals offense and Sullivan.
Yeah, I wonder how that Lapeer game is going. I know last time Lapeer and Grand Blanc faced off this year was 41-12, and when Davison played them, it was just 41-zip, and that was in the first half because the second half was called off because of lightning, and they mutually agreed to field conditions to not play out the rest of the game, and you can see why. I mean, shut them out, 41 points in the first half.
New update, 20-6.
That's just rough for Davison, getting scored down just like that.
Wouldn't be the worst thing if Cardinals can answer before half, making it a 1-score game.
I was honestly kind of surprised that these teams had never faced off. I thought I'd see at least one or two games somewhere there.
Couldn't find anything on them. They haven't faced off once.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a good history, though, recently, playing teams that we've never played. I mean, Grand Ledge was an all right one. We've beat them by quite a bit on homecoming. But De La Salle, we've only played them, the only 2 times we played them were the last 2 times.
Yeah, the last 2 years. And that ended our 6-0 streak both years. Here we have Jalen Flowers taking it up, getting swarmed by a bunch of Bulldogs right before the 20 and taken down at about the 16.
Yeah,
that's not the greatest return. You got to get at least past the 20 there.
Yeah, every time he was trying to push those Bulldogs off, more and more came. They're just coming everywhere, that dog pack. Wonder if they're going to be able to make something out of this.
Romeo's pretty good at swarming to the carrier.
Yeah, especially when they're squibbit like that, able to have more time to get there. And even not, some of these defenders are alarmingly fast. They're able to get there.
Davison first in the SVL in passing yards, total yards, and points scored. Let's see if their offense can answer the call here right before the second.
Yeah, one of the highest scoring teams in the state, too. And in the SVL, the only one to make it over 3,500.
Sullivan sending Caleb out right. He's going to throw it to him and has space on the right side. And that is a nice gain as he keeps going right past the 50. What a great play by Caleb Smith, who's looking like a man amongst boys out there right now.
Beautiful stiff arm there right around the 40, able to give himself like 15 more yards after shaking that blocker off.
Also some blazing speed down the sideline there. Didn't look like he'd be catched, but pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, if that block had been made there earlier, then he would have had nothing but green, just like the Romeo Bulldogs did before. Clock's winding down. We got 6 minutes, 2 seconds left in this half.
Yep, about 6 minutes left. Cardinals looking to answer. Sullivan's got 3 left in the shotgun. Taking the snap, handing off down the middle to Caleb again for a nice gain of about 4 or 5. Caleb's just an all-around player. He plays both ends of the ball, offense and defense. He catches the ball at a great rate, about 500 yards almost this season. He's rushed for about 600 and 7 touchdowns, and he's got about 23 tackles and 3 interceptions. It's an all-around player.
Yeah, and one of the most important things is that he's consistent. He shows up to all these games, and he plays the same, but he has that electric speed, and he has that huge hitting body. He's able to do so much on the ball, on both ends, too.
Sullivan lining up in the shotgun on 2nd down here. Looking to throw just over the head of Harrison Terry, who gets the flag called. A possible defensive pass interference here as the Bulldog fans are booing.
Yeah, they're not happy about that one.
It might be an automatic first down for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and that's what they could use in this situation. Get some nice gain and a good field position. Yeah, these fans are not happy about that.
Refs deciding what to do here.
And all these calls in the playoffs, each one could be as controversial or as important as the last, especially if interference like that.
And it is going to be pass interference on the defense and an automatic first down for the Cardinals, and that is huge for this drive, looking to answer before half.
Absolutely, giving them a first down and great field position. Could possibly generate some great play here. Only time will tell. I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, all the fans are fired up now, and all the players are excited.
Cardinals lining up at about the 28-yard line. Sullivan in shotgun again, motioning Caleb out left, who pump fakes and then tries to keep it and gets lit up in the backfield and tackled for about a loss of 2.
And it looks like Smith was kind of confused when he was ushered out wide on that. Didn't know what he was supposed to be doing there. Not to mention,
well, they were looking for the same exact pass, but flopped to the other end. That got us the first down on the right side there. But Sullivan kept it himself and then got lit up right when he went to go through the hole.
Yeah, the offensive line just seemed to fall apart there. Wasn't able to hold up to the Bulldogs. And that's kind of heartbreaking to see after that pass interference call helping out so much. Just lost all that game.
2nd and about 11 here. Sullivan pressured, throws to a screen to Caleb Smith, who's going to get upfield, following his blockers for a nice first down for the Cardinals.
That stiff arm is just working out for him.
What a play by Caleb Smith there.
It doesn't matter who you are. You're not going to take down Caleb Smith until he gets those extra 5 or 10 yards, and that's just what he's doing.
The South Dakota State commit. What a great play by Caleb there, getting our offense a nice spark that we needed.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been great, especially in a dangerous situation like that where Sullivan almost got sacked again after that guy out wide came in for him. He's just able to rely on Smith and float it over to him, and Smith's able to get a big gain off that. That's going to move the change.
Yeah, Caleb did a great job following his blockers there.
Looks like they might be going for a pass here or a run, though. They got 3 receivers to the near side, 1 wide, and then they have Smith near.
Sullivan handing off to Caleb again, and that's going to be tackled for a loss of about 1.
Yeah, blockers just did not do their job perfectly there. I mean, he was able to get that tackle right away on Smith, and that's exactly what you don't want to see. Clock's winding down, though. Just over 3.5 minutes left in the half, and Davison is still down 21-7. MLive had it predicted 21-17, so I wonder if the Davison defense is going to be able to step up in the second half and make that a reality, maybe even turn it around.
Sullivan in the shotgun here, 3 wide left. Going to be huge for the Cardinals offense. Keeping it right side is going to be Brennan Sullivan, who's tackled at the 1 there, almost snuck in the end zone as the Bulldogs fell for the play fake left side and left them nothing but room to run.
Yeah, honestly, that got me too. I did not expect that.
I honestly thought he was taking it left until I saw Sullivan get tackled on the right side there.
Yeah, still a nice gain, though, for Sullivan. Able to generate some offense.
Looks like the Cardinals got a first down, so it's going to be 1st and goal here. Logan blocking right side for Caleb Smith, who keeps it in the Wildcat. Did he get in?
Looks like he was just shy of the end zone. Just shy of the goal line.
On the inch-yard line.
And that's close, but it's just not there yet. I mean, they're in pretty great position now. All they got to do is just force them in.
I like that Wildcat formation with Caleb Smith taking the snap there and trying to push it up the middle himself.
Yeah,
that's a clever set for Weingarts in this offense.
Yeah, and it's something that the Bulldogs just haven't been prepared for.
Cardinals running the same exact play again. Caleb taking the snap, trying to push it up the middle, and he does! That is going to be the 2nd score of the game for Caleb Smith, making the score 14-21 Cardinals, who cut the deficit within 7 with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go before halftime.
And that's exactly what they need going into the second half, because, I mean, that's keeping it within reach, and that's exactly what they want to have, so they can generate a comeback possibly in the second half.
That drive was all Caleb Smith there. What a great player.
Well, yeah,
causing defenders to miss and gaining yards of space.
He had that big gain in the backfield, then he had that screen off the near Sullivan sack. Sullivan just floated it over, and Smith brought him into pretty good territory, and then he just ran him in the red zone. And
Brennan Densmore holding for Gabe Hopkins. He's going to put it through the uprights, making it 14-21. Romeo Bulldogs leading, looking to receive.
Yeah, and that's a better number for Davison to look at going into the second half. Time's just winding down, 2 minutes, 35 seconds.
I'm not mad at the way Davison has played this game so far, going against very tough competition and a couple penalties and costly turnovers. We should be way more out of this game than it looks like right now, but we're fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a sloppy first half with those penalties and the turnovers, but they've cleaned up their play quite a bit, and it looks like they're kind of following Romeo's lead, handing it off a lot, and able to make some pretty great plays on the ground.
Romeo also had some turnovers and penalties that's killed them so far as well.
Yeah, and the fact that Davison's forcing those turnovers is going to boost this defense quite a bit into the second half, and hopefully they can do some more of that. And you wonder if Hopkins is going to go for a squib here and give his blockers enough time, or just rely on his blockers' just speed to get there.
Yeah, Cardinals are looking to get a stop here because the Bulldogs are receiving to start the second half. So looking for back-to-back stops almost as time winds down in the second.
Romeo fans getting pumped up, awaiting the Cardinals kickoff.
Gabe Hopkins booting deep. What a great kick. Fielded at the 10. Bringing it up. Zapsky gets tackled. And about right before the 20, what a great swarm by a bunch of white Cardinal jerseys.
Yeah, and you can hear those Cardinal fans all the way from here in this press box. They're electric. They're super happy about that play. Better than the other game, the other kickoff where they allowed Romeo to get to about the 27-yard line. Wonder if this defense is going to be stepping up. I mean, they got Smith out there, and he's electric on the offensive side today. Wonder if he can create something on the defense too.
Yeah, Caleb Smith, who you just saw score that last touchdown, plays on defense as well, both sides of the ball. He's a huge impact player. He's playing safety on your far right. Brett Miller motioning.
Big hit there, able to bring him out down just above or just past the line of scrimmage.
Caleb and Logan were both there. It's going to be about 2nd down and 9 here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Caleb Smith, Logan Pasco, two of the most important players on this Cardinals roster. 2 seniors and 2 fantastic recruits. And they both shown out today. I mean, Pasco made that interception. and then Smith scored the touchdown.
Yeah, the two seniors showing out tonight on possibly their last ever high school game.
And if they keep showing out, they might go up.
Brad Miller
to
looking to
districts.
option the ball right up the middle. It's going to be a gain for about 1 or 2 for Brian St. Clair.
Yeah, and they're going pretty slow compared to what they came out doing in the first quarter. They were marching in that first quarter.
Yeah,
and now-
Cardinals have contained this run offense a little better than they did at the start of the game. They're still looking to get one more clutch stop right before half.
Yeah, and
As
if
it's going to be 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Brad Miller handing it left side. Who gets tripped up for a loss is Zapsky, and the Cardinals get just what they wanted, a 3 and out of the Bulldogs. And the Cardinals are going to have about 1:38 with time left to play to try to get maybe a field goal here.
Yeah, that sideline was just absolutely electric after that. That's exactly what they needed, some hard-nosed defense, and they got it.
We have a timeout, Davison.
Davison's going to call a timeout. They're talking over before the punt.
Looks like the Bulldogs almost want to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have much to lose. I feel like they're confident enough in their defense to stop.
That's some risky field position, man.
Yeah, but after that punt, no, you're right, because, yeah, if they've turned it over on downs there. But they had a pretty strong run game earlier. I wonder if they're going to run it or maybe try to go for it in the air. Their air game hasn't been too successful, though. Imagine, though, 3 and out for the Cardinals. That's almost flip-flop from what we've seen earlier.
Great defensive stand by the Cardinals. Looking like they're going to need one more play on a 3rd and 4. We're going to need one last stop, and the Cardinals could have a chance to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're going to be able to make this stop here or not. Or look,
Cardinals,
they got a punter in the back. Looks like
the
they're gonna-
Bulldogs are looking to punt right now.
I mean, it is the playoffs. You never know what's going to happen.
Bulldogs looking to punt. High snap. That was dangerous and almost blocked. Back deep is Jalen Flowers to receive, but it's going to sail out of bounds. And it looks about around the 50-yard line, 45.
And that's going to
About
give
the
the Cardinals a
45-yard
minute.
line.
It's going to give the Cardinals a minute and a half to try and generate some offense.
Sign off and say we'll be back after half. Okay.
You wonder if they're going to be able to generate some offense quick enough to get a score in before the half, tie it up. That'd be fantastic for them.
Yeah, with a minute 30 left and a passing offense, there's no reason the Cardinals can't try to at least get a field goal out of this right now.
They've been a ground team today, though. I mean, Caleb Smith's been man in the pack on the offense for both of those touchdowns. Wonder how they're going to play this one out.
Cardinals with one timeout left, looking to use it strategically with a minute 30 until halftime. Brent Sullivan with 4 receivers lined up and Caleb in the backfield and shotgun taking the snap. Pressured right side, throws to the opposite side of the field.
Might have
and
been
picked
intercepted.
off. Looking for his favorite target, Latrell Fordham.
And they're going to call an interception. That's exactly what the Bulldogs needed after going 3 and out.
And Logan LaFrey for the Bulldogs is going to pick off Brennan Sullivan with a minute and 22 left in the second quarter.
That's the second time today Sullivan's has turned the ball over on the first play of a drive. And yeah, you just got to come out and be ready for that.
That arm is just not looking the same today.
Yeah, it looks like he may have underthrew Latrell a little bit, and that's why it fell in the hands of the Romeo
Defender.
the Romeo defender.
Brad Miller lining up in shotgun. Cardinals need to get a stop here. Runs it short for a gain of about 3. Brett Miller gets tackled by Jay Nivison.
Yeah, and I mean, they'll take it. They'll take any stop that they can get. They'd definitely like some negative yards there, but they'll take a stop of any kind as long as they don't let them get that first. And he's marching.
Zapsky taking it right side for the first down and moving the chains for the Bulldogs on another run play.
Just marching down the field. Davison, they were looking good earlier on that run defense, but now they just can't stop it, it seems.
55 seconds left on the clock for the Bulldogs to try to make something out before half.
He run it again.
Brett Miller taking it himself. going head first into the Cardinals defense as he gets tackled out of bounds there.
Yeah, and it looks like the Cardinals are trying to stretch the ball, force a fumble there, but they couldn't make it happen. That would have been nice, though, force another turnover.
Yep. Turnovers have been the key of the game so far. A lot by both sides. I think 5 in total and counting.
Yeah, I mean, they've cleaned up their play for the most part.
Brett Miller ducking the play action, throwing deep to a wide open Zapsky, who reaches out his arms and is unable to catch the ball there.
Guess that's why he's a running back. I mean, he almost made the grab there, but it was just short. Maybe if he had jumped up for it a bit, he would have been able to bring it in.
That would have been 7 for sure.
Absolutely, but not going to happen. It's going to bring him to 3rd down, 4 yards to go, 19 seconds left, and the clock is stopped after that incomplete pass. Looks like they're talking this one over. Probably going to go for a pass because they don't want that clock to run down any lower than it needs to. Might try and generate a big playoff this year.
Cardinals looking to get a stop with 19 seconds left before halftime. Brett Miller under center with 4 wide receivers out, motioning right, handing right up the middle to Brian St. Clair, who gets tackled after a gain of about 4. And that might take us almost to halftime here. We only got 13 more seconds left.
It looks like
Timeout Romeo, their last one of the half.
Yeah, I'm going to talk things over. Maybe generate a big playoff this play here. I mean, 4th and 1, they definitely got to talk this over, especially when there's a scoring opportunity. Because, I mean, you never know. Romeo could pull out a big run. They might go for a pass here, though. So they could keep that clock running. You never know. I mean, they have time if they get a regular pass off to get another playoff. Yeah, if Romeo could get a big, deep pass off here, maybe they could, or if they don't run that one into the end zone, they'll surely still have time to get another one off.
Bulldogs looking to get something on the board here with 13 seconds left in the second quarter. About 1 or 2 more shots here to punch the ball deeper into the Cardinal territory. Brett Miller under center again. Straight up the middle on the QB sneak.
Yeah, and it looks like they might just let the clock run out. They don't have timeouts left.
And it looks like a little scruffle at the bottom of the pile there.
And it looks like
I'm not sure what the Bulldogs are trying to accomplish there with the quarterback sneak. I guess get the first down and hurry up to try to. They're going to have 1 more shot here before half to try to score. Brett Miller spikes it.
Yeah, I guess it. And it looks like the center is not happy about that hit there, but.
Yeah, 95 came out of nowhere and completely hit-sticked the Bulldog center there.
Not going to be a call on it, though, but he was furious after that. It looks like the clock stopped again at 3 seconds. Wonder what they're doing, just trying to run out the clock, I guess?
Yeah, the quarterback tried to spike it there for one last play before halftime. Maybe a Hail Mary, or who knows?
I guess that hit might have stopped the clock.
When he spiked the ball, that's what stopped the clock.
Yeah, I wonder why they're not going for deeper passes.
Defense is playing way off, and it looks like a prevent coverage here, trying to prevent any type of score here from the Bulldogs. Bulldogs not lining up a single receiver out wide. And it looks like it's going to be a delay of game on the Romeo Bulldogs offense.
Just a weird end to the first half.
Number 19, it's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Gonna send them back 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Romeo's still going to get 1 more shot here before half, and the clock is going to wind down as the delay of game makes the clock continue. My bad on that, and that's going to take us into halftime.
Yeah, we'll see you at the second half. It's been Mason Palmatier and John Gerke. I don't think they're...
Good evening, football fans. I'm John Gerke with Mason Palmatier here. coming back at you with half. Romeo's leading the scoreboard 21-14 and is going to be receiving the ball here to start us off at the second half. What are the keys to the Cardinals coming back today, Mason?
Probably some more improvement on the pass game. Their run game's been phenomenal, just like Romeo's has. But unlocking that pass game might be a big part in their rallying and comeback in the second half. Also, maybe stopping that run defense a bit more. They were doing well with that in the second quarter until they allowed that big run by, I believe it was St. Clair ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah,
like 50,
Brian
60
St.
yards.
Clair and their other running back, Ryan Zapsky, have had themselves a night running the ball up the middle, to the sides, and just piecing apart this Cardinals defense one by one.
Yeah, I mean, if the Cardinals want to have a chance at winning this game, they got to stop that run game, and they got to up the ante on their pass game, too.
Lots of sloppy flags and some turnovers so far also. Sullivan's got 2 picks in the first half. Also, I'm sorry, 2 touchdowns by Caleb Smith.
Yeah.
Looking to ignite for a second half comeback as Romeo leads by 1 score and a touchdown.
And we're not used to seeing Sullivan throw the ball like this. We're used to seeing him complete most of those passes. He only had 7 on the season before tonight. Now that total is 9. Wonder if he's going to be able to clean that up in the second half.
Cardinals making it a game, though. Down by 7. Gabe Hopkins kicking off. Received by the Bulldogs, making a move to the 30. And wrapped up and tackled.
Yeah, looks like progress was stopped. They're going to call it just before the 30.
Landon Kish there with a nice solo tackle for the Cardinals.
He's been a pretty big force in their backfield defense this season, able to make a lot of great pass breakups and able to really defend on those passes well.
Caleb's had a great game so far on both ends of the ball, making big tackles, and then he did have the 2 touchdowns this game.
Yeah, I mean, these run games, like I said, are just dominant. They're really showing out tonight in this first playoff game of the season for the Cardinals.
Brian St. Clair running up middle, getting stopped by Logan Pasco, who met him and dropped him down at the line of scrimmage there.
Already has 1 interception this game and some tackles, too. His 3rd interception of the season, I believe, tonight.
The seniors are showing out for their possible last and final game of their high school careers.
Yeah, with Pasco making that play, like I said, and then Smith, like you said, with those 2 touchdowns, and then a bunch of yards on the ground, and that 1 screen pass from Brendan that resulted in that drive being a touchdown.
Cardinals already forcing a 3rd and 10. This would be a huge stop to put our offense on the field to tie the game here. Brett Miller under center, looking for the option. Right up the middle, and again is going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, and what a huge play by our defense to maybe put our offense back on the field once again with a chance to tie.
Yeah, stopping St. Clair and Zapsky on the run game is going to be a key, like you brought up earlier, to stopping this Romeo team from marching down the field all like they did in the first quarter.
3 straight runs, 3 straight great tackles by the Cardinals defense here.
Yeah, it's going to be forcing that 4th down.
4th and 7 here. Most likely going to be a punt.
Did not see a punter come on the field, though.
Not a punter. This is an interesting formation here by the Bulldogs as they get sent out by the far sides.
Looks like they're going for it.
And he gets swallowed up in the backfield as Zapsky, and number 23, Jay Niveson, swallows him up. And it looks like that is going to cause a 4th down now. Sorry, the scoreboard did say 4th down last play.
Either way, that's still a great stop there by the Cardinals, able to stop Zapsky again, not let them get any
technical
room.
difficulties. Jalen Flowers deep in back to receive the punt for Davison Cardinals. It's an explosive young sophomore who has plenty of time to grow.
Yeah, and I mean, all he has is potential in the rest of his varsity career. He's going to let that one roll.
Letting it roll and be down by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I mean, he hasn't gotten the ball too much this season, but when he does, he's pretty good with it. He's got some pretty good speed on him, and he's able to pushed some of those blockers away pretty well. I know not in the Lapeer game, but the Saginaw Arthur Hill game, he had a great stiff arm leading to a touchdown.
Cardinals offense lining up here, looking to answer to tie the game up. With 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and it's still 14-21. If they can make a play off this game, off this drive, that'd be huge.
Luttrell went off the field earlier with an injury, coming back, looking to make an impact for this Cardinals offense. 4 wide out for Brennan Sullivan in the shotgun. Caleb besides him, dropping back to pass. Throws right to Harrison Terry, and a nice little short completion for about 5 yards there.
Yeah, and it looks like he got stopped right there, and he's fired up about that.
Good to see Sullivan complete some easy short passes to get our offense rolling.
Yeah, I mean, he'll definitely take that over another interception. He did have Luttrell out wide, though, but it looked like he saw Terry and just went right to him. Couldn't see Luttrell on his blind side.
Solely back deep in the shotgun once again.
Yeah, alongside Smith there.
Triples on the far left. And Harrison Terry out by himself on the right side. 3 rushing for the Bulldogs. Sullivan steps up, throws to the side to Peyton Pizzala, who gets a gain for a couple and then forced out of bounds by the Bulldogs defense.
Yeah, and great for him to stay there and get that easy catch again from Sullivan. He's looking for those easy passes now. He's not trying to make it too complicated for this offense.
It's good to see him maybe get into a rhythm here for our Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get some completions going, he could get some good consistency and carry that on into the rest of the game and rally a comeback.
Sullivan shaking his hand there. Hopefully that's not his throwing hand. He looked a little ginger on that.
Yeah, and we just heard over the PA, Chippewa Valley's beating their opponent today in the playoffs, 27-13 right now. It might be a big matchup for Romeo next week if they win this game.
Motioning is Luttrell Fordham right side. Sullivan looking for the screen pass to Caleb again. That was their money play for a nice gain of about 10.
Yeah, and it's like deja vu. We just saw that earlier just on the other side of the field and in a different quarter, but it's working out. When he falls under pressure, Smith's there to make a grab for him.
We've seen some nice dump-offs to Caleb today. I think that's around like his 3rd or 4th reception on short gains where he can just run and find open space.
Yeah, and when that line falls apart, he's got Smith to rely on. And he knows he's going to be consistent and stay consistent and catch that pass.
Ben Sullivan in the gun. Handing off in the middle to Caleb, following his blockers for about a 6-yard gain there. The Cardinals are finding success on offense finally. I'm liking it.
Yeah, moving those chains on the ground, too. I mean, those short passes are helping them out quite a bit, but these ground gains here.
You're making them cover the pass, so it opens up the run. I'm loving the offense right now by the Cardinals coming out of half.
Yeah, slowly but surely, they're marching down the field. And now they're not in their own territory anymore. It's going to be a big factor into trying to generate a touchdown play here, or at least something. They'll take any score right now, I'm sure, because there's still plenty of time left in this game.
Sullivan catching the snap, looking for another short pass right to Jalen Flowers, who makes a man miss, and about another 5-yard gain. They just keep getting these tiny completions, allowing the wide receiver to break a tackle and try to get some yardage upfield.
Yeah, and like I said, he got some great technique, able to break that tackle with the juke there, fake left, and then go right up the field, get a couple more yards off that. Exactly what being on varsity means for him. He's a real technical player and able to make them miss a lot. And if he doesn't make a miss, he shoves them off and gets more yards after the play.
Very nice to see Brian Sullivan finding his rhythm, and he's almost completed 70% of his passes throughout the year. Let's see if he can keep this drive up for the Cardinals on 2nd down. As the play fake and drop by Harrison Terry, but a flag is thrown.
And that's a gimme. Terry can't be dropping those passes like that.
That looked like it was picked.
Oh, just about.
But the refs are calling it incomplete.
Yeah, the stadium's
And it looks like there is a flag down on the field.
Everyone's waiting for the flag. It's just silent right now. No one knows what's really happening on that. I don't know.
Weingars doesn't look too happy. It's going to look like an ineligible receiver downfield for the Cardinals offense here.
And I think it's because Terry, his catch was tipped there, and then a man next to him tried to make the grab, but it looks like he was ineligible.
We also had an ineligible receiver downfield on the offense.
And that's going to put the Cardinals back 5 more yards, and they're going to repeat second down here. It's going to be about 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that's rough, but I mean, it happens. Got to push through these flags and push through some of these plays. And
the Cards have been fighting through costly penalties this whole day. Let's see if they can answer. Sully's got 3 to his left, 1 to his right, and he hands right up the middle.
Carterman's flying.
Carterman was flying, trying to find the edge there to gain some yardage. It only looks like he gained a couple.
Yeah,
it's going to be
just
another 3rd and long here for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and a conversion here is exactly what they're going to need to move downfield. If they've generated some good offense before, but they've kind of come to a standstill here in midfield. And Sullivan's been handed it off a bit more. Kind of after that incomplete pass, not really as confident in the pass game now. I feel like he's going to be forced to pass here, though, on 3rd and long in this territory.
Sullivan in the gun. 2 receivers on both sides to him. He's motioning Flowers to the right. Rolling to the right is Sullivan, pressured, trying to find someone open downfield. He throws.
And it looks like Terry made the grab.
Like he made the grab. What an impressive catch by Harrison Terry. What an impressive catch by Harrison Terry.
Took it to the ground.
These wide receivers are interesting. We saw that huge highlight play last time that got called back, unfortunately. The one-handed grab by Luttrell. It looked like he somehow caught that between his legs there.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to pull it in, fell to the ground, and it was still bobbling with it.
That's a new move. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, good job, Terry.
Harrison Terry with the grab there. He's got 479 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns on the year so far. He's having a solid senior year.
It looks like they're going to call a flag on the defensive lineman for the Bulldogs, Brent Jordan. Unnecessary roughness, and it's going to move the Cardinals up even more after that big gain from Terry. Kind of a weird series of events. Crazy catch, and then that flag moving them up.
This is going to put the Cardinals deep in the Bulldog territory, looking to tie the game. This would be huge for the Cardinals team.
Yeah, nothing to complain about here. And if they got a field goal here, that'd match MLive's prediction for the game pretty much perfectly, 21-17. Wonder if the Cardinals are looking to change that, though, come the 4th quarter.
Davison, the underdog, ranked 23 with Romeo ranked 9th. Looking to tie the game up is Brendan Sullivan in the gun. Rolling left, passing right. And he's going to catch it and fall right down to the ground. His hair. Harrison Unger.
He's been performing pretty well on the offensive side of the ball, or on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say defense, too. He's had some nice tackles. He's a great player all around.
Yeah, pretty consistent on making good tackles on the defensive end.
5 sacks on the season, 15 tackles for loss. He's having himself a year. And he plays both sides like a lot of the Cardinals do.
Yeah, defensive end and tight end. Really able to make a difference, and as a junior, too. Sullivan away
Brendan Sullivan in the gun. Looking right is Harrison Terry, who makes he makes one Bulldog miss and then thrown out of bounds. What a great move Harrison Terry put on number 54 there to get him out the way.
Yeah, and patience was key there. He was waiting for that Bulldog to come towards him and then just shove them off right away.
Sullivan's starting to find the holes in the Bulldogs' offense and complete short passes.
Yeah,
and that's been the story for the Cardinals' drive here in the second half.
Yeah, he's had a couple deep passes on the season, but if he can keep these short passes rolling and keep getting these first downs, then they're going to be golden the rest of the game.
It's going to be a huge 3rd down for our Cardinals offense. Brendan Sullivan looking to get points on the board on a 3rd and 4. In the gun with 2 to his left, 1 to his far right. Brendan Sullivan tries to keep it himself. Makes one man miss. Did he get it?
Nearly spun out of that tackle.
That's going to be very close to the first down here.
Those guys with the chains aren't seeming to move anywhere, and they're flipping it over as a 4th down is called. Just barely missed it there. Nearly spun out of that tackle. There's some great technique there.
Yeah, he made one man miss, then for the second, wrapped him up just a little too early to get the first down. And the Cardinals are going to go for it. The Bulldog stands are erupting right now, trying to find a stop for their home team.
Yeah, hoping for a lockdown defense here. Looks like the Cardinals are bringing Hopkins on.
Yep, Cardinals are deciding to put the kicking unit back on.
Clock's winding down. Just under 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in this quarter. Romeo's still up by 7 points, but with a possible field goal
And
here.
it looks like the Cardinals are going to be taking a timeout.
And that's going to stop the clock at 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
That's a tough decision. Do you go for it or do you kick it?
Yeah, and I think that's why they called a timeout, because they didn't want to get that delay game call.
Touchdown, Cardinals.
21-21, Davison against Romeo. First time ever playing each other. It's not what I expected for their first time matching up, but I mean, I've been enjoying this game nonetheless. I'm excited to see.
Great playoff atmosphere, cowbells ringing, and Romeo Bulldogs fans screaming at the top of their lungs. Only one team is going to be able to come out of this into the next round. Both are tied up right now. Swapping ends of the field is the Cardinals' offense. They need to have Brendan Sullivan complete some short passes here and get into his rhythm again. Sully in the shotgun, 3 wide left. Caleb in the backfield, pressured. Makes a man miss as Sullivan makes another man miss. Makes 3 people miss. And Sullivan breaks 3 tackles. Oh my gosh, what a run by Sullivan. The quarterback showing heart on the field today.
Not 1, not 2, 3 men shaking off on that play, and he's able to go take it all the way past the 50. What a great play there by Sullivan.
Sullivan not looking 100% healthy, makes half of the Bulldogs team miss there for a huge run getting past the 50.
He's looking like Caleb Smith out there right now with that. Just fantastic play. He's deadly in the air and on the ground.
Brent Sullivan looks like he's going to give it another go. Obviously shaken up from the past couple hard hits he's taken. Gonna go back in the shotgun. Caleb Smith right next to him with 3 out to his right. Will the Cardinals be able to take the lead here in the 4th quarter?
Cowbells ringing and fans whistling and cheering. Exciting atmosphere in the playoffs.
Sullivan taking the snap. And that looks like a false start by the defense there, not called. Sullivan taking another hit and a hard snap back of the head there.
Yeah, wasn't able to break the tackle there. He was on that one play, but not there.
I thought the defense that was definitely a false start by the defense. Before they snapped it, he was already almost tackling Sullivan. Ref missed a big one right there.
Looked a little jumpy, but I mean, it's high school football. They're energetic. It's going to be expected. Yeah, I was talking about earlier how Romeo, they're used to being in the playoffs. This is their 16th consecutive season in the playoffs. Davison's 5th, but this is like home for Romeo. They're used to this.
2nd and 14 for the Cards offense. Looking to dig into these 14 yards to try to get the first down. Sullivan getting the play call from Weingarts with 3 on the left side. In shotgun formation. Sully takes the snap, drops back. Getting pressured again and sacked for a loss of 1. That's going to force a 3rd and long here. Sully's not seeing his receivers.
Yeah, and I don't think that was the best decision either there by him, though, to try and take it for himself. I think what he should have done there is just thrown it away. Avoid that contact and just...
He's taken 3 straight hits. He's got to throw the ball away there.
I know.
Try to save his body.
He hasn't been trying to throw it away that much this season. He's always a quarterback that wants to take initiative and run it up, but...
I mean, he did have a great scramble there on the last 3rd down. Let's see if Sullivan done for his team. It's going to be a huge play. 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter in round 1 of the playoffs. Davison's offense running with 3 wide receivers. Caleb Smith in the backfield. Sully passing to Caleb Smith, almost picked off. Caleb cutting it upfield.
Big truck there at the end of that play. He's brought down just above the 50. Some great...
Cardinals at about the 47. looking to either punt or go for it here.
I think they
Most
got to go
likely.
for it. Or I feel like if their defense can show up, then they can punt it with confidence that their defense will show up. And look,
That's
yeah,
a
it looks like
coach
they're going to
move,
punt
yep. Sending out the punting unit, the Cardinals. Gabe Hopkins have had a pretty good game kicking so far, not going to lie to you. He's had some pretty good kickoffs, some good punts.
it. Yeah, he's able to
So
send them
hopefully
deep. And
the
they roll.
Cardinals can pin them deep in their own zone
Yeah,
and
that's
try to
the
force
idea.
a stop here in the fourth quarter. Gabe Hopkins gets a clean snap and a boot. And fair caught at about the 21-yard line.
You know, both these teams are looking for playoff redemption this year. Both of them were knocked out last year in the first round of the playoffs. So it's going to be the same story for one of them again this year. And they're both hoping it's not going to be
The
them.
first year of Coach Weingart's ended 7-3. And then this year, the Cardinals are obviously currently 7-2, hoping to not have the same result 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, they've had pretty similar endings to their seasons. I mean, last year, the same thing happened as this year. They lost to De La Salle, beat Saginaw Arthur Hill, then lost to Lapeer, and then eventually lost in the playoffs. Hopefully that's not the same story for them today.
Yeah. Brian St. Clair running it up the middle. Looks like it's going to be swallowed up by the Cardinals defense at about a 1 or 2 yard gain there.
Yeah, and that's what they want. They want to stop. They want to keep those gains as minimal as possible, and they did just that there on that play.
Good stop by the Cardinals D.
And this Romeo team is coming off hot as their last game. They beat Grosse Pointe South Blue Devils 38-20. Hasn't been the same story today though. Not as big of a blowout.
Another trick formation by Romeo as they spread out on the line. Brian St. Clair pitching, and that's going to be Zapsky, who gets tackled out of bounds.
Big stiff arm there at the end of the play. It just wasn't able to get
And
much
it
out of that
looks
from the defense.
like the Bulldogs are going to get another first down there. I think that might be first down of half.
Yeah, I mean,
The
these
Cardinals defense
defenses-
is locked up so far. I think that might be the first down of the first down of the half for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, these defenses are just brick walls right now. They're not letting anything through, but right there it kind of fell apart. That stiff arm helped them get a couple more yards and help
First
the
and
Bulldogs
10
get
for the
first down.
Bulldogs. Brian St. Clair giving it to Zapsky on the far side. Harrison Unger with a huge tackle for loss, and he flexes for the Davison away crowd. That's a huge tackle for loss there. That's going to put the Bulldogs about 2nd and 11, 2nd and 16.
Yeah, the defensive end fired up about that play. He's been performing great today, making some pretty big tackles.
And he caught a ball today.
Yeah, I was able to get some good yards off that. And he's been pushing these guys back a few yards, too.
A lot of these Cards have heart and souls into the game, playing both ends of the ball, which is very tiring for them.
Especially some seniors here like Caleb Smith. I mean, if you want to talk about heart, all you got to do is talk about him.
That's for sure. Caleb has heart. 2nd and 16 for the Bulldogs here. Handing off to Zapsky again up the middle and tackled for about a 5-yard gain. That's going to force a 3rd down.
Yeah, Unger on that tackle again, able to stop these big run plays. Looked like he was going to go quite the distance there, but Unger was able to wrap him up and bring him down. And that's exactly what they need on there, forcing that 3rd down now.
Cardinals forcing another 3rd down, seeing if they can get a huge stop here in the 4th quarter with 7 minutes left to go. Will the Cardinals be able to get their offense back on the field? Next play. Straight up the middle, and that looks like it might be short. 4th down and manageable.
Yeah, just shy. Wonder if they're going to go for this one. They are in their own territory, though.
I would imagine they go for it. Yep. Looks like they're going to keep... No, they're going to punt it?
Yeah, I think
It looks like they're going to punt it.
Yeah, I mean, in a late-game situation like this, that's too risky to go for it in your own territory because that's just asking to get scored on right there. Yeah.
Yeah, they are looking to punt the ball as they're not taking the chance and rolling the dice on 4th and 1, even though the run game has been great so far for the Bulldogs. Punting
Big
it
punt,
deep.
too.
A bomb of a punt by the Bulldogs kicker, and that is going to be shut down by number 4,
Cardinals take over.
Justin McNutty,
Yeah, and
as he downs the ball for the Bulldogs.
heard a fan really not too happy about him. He wanted to let that one roll a bit. But it might have been a smart decision. That could have rolled back and towards their own territory, and that's not what they want here.
Cardinals offense pinned deep in their own territory, looking to take the lead here against the number 9th ranked team in the state, the Romeo Bulldogs.
And not just 9th in the state, but surprisingly 3rd in their own division too. I mean, they're in a tough division, and this is their first time playing anyone out of the Macomb Area Conference, the Red Division. So it's been an interesting game for Davison.
Soley in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his left. Rolling left is Soley. Looking and sacked again is Brennan Sullivan at the 10-yard line. I think that might be like the 4th time Sullivan's gotten hit pretty hard in a row.
Yeah, and that's
He's
not,
just
yeah.
keeping the ball way too long. He needs to make a quicker decision to run or throw.
Yeah, I feel like the pressure might be getting to him. I mean, it's first playoff game in a starting position, especially as a junior too, filling the holes of Cannon Hall and trying to show out for these Davison fans, and there's a lot of them here tonight.
It's going to be a long 2nd and 17 here for our Cards as they're looking to answer. Tied 21 apiece, Solely in the backfield in the shotgun with Caleb to his right. Gets the snap, Bulldog pressure, and he somehow completes the ball to Caleb Smith, who's going to the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and Caleb Smith takes it to the house.
Touchdown,
all the way.
Cardinals.
I thought that was going to be a safety for sure by
did
Brennan
too.
Sullivan.
He legit just threw
What
it away.
a play by our Cardinal offense, and Caleb Smith scores the 3rd out of the 3 Cardinal touchdowns of the game.
3 screen passes to Caleb Smith just like that, and he's gotten a big gain off of every single play. No flag. And
Yep.
it's a touchdown for the Cardinals. They're going to take the lead
They're
here.
going to take the lead
27-0 or 27-21.
27-21. What a run by Caleb Smith, outrunning the whole Bulldog defense, scampering down the field to have the Cardinals take the lead 27-21 here.
Absolutely insane turn of events for the Cardinals. That's exactly what they need. Goodness gracious, Caleb.
They needed a miracle, and the Cardinals got one. Sullivan wrapped up what looked to be a safety, throws it in desperation to Caleb for the 100-and-something yard pass completion for a touchdown. I cannot believe what I just saw.
He looked like he was about to get brought down for that safety, and he turned it around completely. Just fantastic play by the junior quarterback. The Romeo fans were clearly not happy about the no call on there. I didn't see the flag, honestly, though.
I did not see it. I was too busy screaming watching Caleb Smith outrun the Bulldog defense. And Gabe Hopkins splits the uprights to put the game at 28-7. Davison Cardinals take the lead by a touchdown with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter here.
From here on out, it's a defensive game because Romeo's going to have to manage that clock low. They're probably going to be running it a lot. It's going to run it down a lot. And if they get some yardage, but not too much on every time, they're going to run that down right away and possibly tie the game up, send it into overtime.
The Cardinals have had great success on defense so far this second half. Will they be able to keep it up for one last drive here, Mason?
They're fired up after that touchdown. I don't see what's stopping them from stopping St. Clair and Sapsky, the dynamic duo on the running side of the ball.
They are one stop away, possibly, from taking this first-round matchup away from the Romeo Bulldogs, as the Cardinals are up 1 touchdown.
And this is huge redemption from them if they do win from their last season. It was a sad end last time with that loss in the first round and those 3 or 4 losses in their last 4 games.
Gabe Hopkins looking to kick off.
These Cardinals are fired up now.
Cardinals with only 1 timeout remaining, and the Bulldogs with all 3. We're going to see if the Cardinals can get a stop here.
Time management is going to be a huge part on this drive in determining whether they go to overtime or whether someone takes it all home right now.
Cardinals, with the best run defense in the SVL, has been limited the Bulldogs so far in the second half as they receive and go to run down field and tackled at just about the 25. And what a great open field tackle by number 23,
Jay
Nivison.
And he is fired up. And it looks like there's going to be a flag on that return. And we're awaiting the call from the ref.
Illegal block in the back on the kicking team.
Ooh, and that's going to be a costly penalty on the Cardinals.
Looks like there's another flag. Might be something on the Cardinals sideline. Not happy with that one. And that's the last thing they need. They
It's a
cannot.
second flag. It's prime time right now. It's just too costly to have sloppy penalties.
Especially these ones based on simply emotional reactions. I do not like the sound of this, though, for the Cardinals. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to get moved up quite a bit after that series of flags there.
Bulldogs taking the ball at the 45-yard line, looking to march downfield at a chance to tie the game. Handing up the middle, Brian St. Clair swallowed up by a bunch of white jerseys, and the Cardinals defense stopped them right at the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, made some gain, then just brought right back. Great play there.
Logan Pasco, what was in the center of this, is going to be the main game changer on this defensive stop.
And that clock's winding down as we reach just below 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Cardinals are now up by 1 touchdown if you missed that play.
Logan has been a huge player for this Cardinals defense and the centerpiece. He's a commit to Youngstown State University and has 3 interceptions this year, including 1 this game. Let's see if he can step up. Brett Miller taking the snap, putting the handoff in Zapsky's hands, who's going to run it for about 3 or 4 yards there.
That's an important game for the Bulldogs, slowly but surely. And the one thing they want to do is run down that clock, so if they do score, they give Davison the least amount of time as possible to retaliate.
This is going to be a huge 3rd down for the Cardinals defense.
A 3-and-out
2
would be
more stops is all they need.
That would be absolutely perfect for them right now to send them off in four plays.
I feel like the Bulldogs would definitely go for it in 4th down in this situation if forced to.
Absolutely.
3rd and 5. On the far side, he tries to get the edge. Number 21, met by Caleb Smith, who has made impact play after impact play, making the stop, forcing Romeo out of bounds.
He's unbelievable. He cannot be stopped. He's not going out without a bang, and that's clearly being shown by the South Dakota State commit tonight. Just absolutely fantastic play by him tonight.
Flag down on the field.
He's got 10 touchdowns on the season now after those 3 he's gotten tonight.
Lots of flags in these past couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think this emotion of this playoff atmosphere, it's really starting to shine through.
And in a do-or-die game, the intensity just gets to the highest point possible.
Absolutely.
Refs discussing the call with Coach Weingartz here.
Yeah, and he's clearly not happy about it. Looks like it might be on the offense.
Holding on the offense is
going
to put the Bulldogs back 10 more yards, and that is huge for the Cardinals defense. Absolutely huge, as this is going to be a 3rd and 15, and the Bulldogs have had no success passing the ball so far this game. So hopefully the Cardinals can secure a 3rd down stop right here. Harrison Unger forcing pressure. Brett Miller tries to go to the outside, scrambling. Harrison Unger hits him as he throws. That's going to be tapped and almost intercepted by the senior Jay Nivison, as that's going to force a 4th and 15. 4th and 17, my correction. And this is all the marbles right now. 4th and 17. Will the Cardinals get a stop and possibly secure the game? Romeo does have all 3 timeouts, though, so if they are able to stop the Cardinals' offense on the other end, that is possible for them to get another possession.
Yeah, but I mean, if the Cardinals keep up that pass defense like they did just there, they're golden.
Cardinals really just need to play some type of prevent here. Try not to allow a big gain, as they're going to punt it here.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to make it. And the punt is dropped.
And he dropped. And that's fumbled. That might secure the game for the Cardinals as they hop on it at the Bulldogs' own 16-yard line.
With 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game.
Play.
It looks like Davison might have recovered the fumble after the bobbled snap.
And the punter seemed to have some sort of butter on his fingers as he dropped it, and the Cardinals defense surrounded him and secured the fumble for possibly what might be game now.
And the refs are signaling it as a Davison ball. Amazing play there. And a great out of defense, able to keep up with that play and make that fumble. Just fantastic play there.
What a crazy night for this Cardinals team.
It's like we're in a movie or something. This
Both
is crazy.
coming in at 7-2. Davison ranked the underdog at number 23, as Romeo was ranked 9th. Not the tale so far of this game. Let's see if the Cardinals can close it out.
If they can put another one on the board, I don't see what's stopping them from going to districts.
Romeo with all 3 timeouts. Solely in the shotgun. Handing off to Caleb Smith up the middle, who's going to take it to the house.
4 touchdowns for Caleb Smith on the game.
Every single touchdown has been scored by the Caleb Smith right now.
Flags are flying left and right.
Flags are flying left and right.
After the Caleb Smith touchdown, let's see what these are.
And that's going to put Davison up possibly 34-21, making it a 2-score ball game, and very unlikely for the Bulldogs to come back here.
If this isn't redemption from the Lapeer game, then I honestly don't know what is redemption then.
What a redemption game.
After the double overtime loss. Really showing out and hopefully making a playoff run after this. Some Romeo fans starting to head out. Looks like there's going to be a flag on the Romeo defense there. Yeah, it looks like there's a flag in the Romeo defense, unsportsmanlike conduct, but the touchdown will stand.
What a crazy season it's been for the Cardinals so far. After having a devastating first loss to De La Salle in back-to-back years after going 6-0, losing 22-0, being shut out without Latrell Fordham, though, to be fair. And then their second loss coming from a Lapeer second overtime heartbreaker. What a great overall team performance today by the Cardinals football team.
Yeah, and it seemed like people were expecting more of the same from last year, but they're changing their narrative this year. They're really showing out against a consistently great team.
Gabe Hopkins kicking it through the uprights. That's going to put the Cardinals up 35-21 and making it a 2-score ball game.
Just absolutely crazy. Looks like there might have been another flag on that play. Here's some Romeo fans not too happy about that.
After the trial, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10 on Davison.
Looks like Unger's going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct call on him after that extra point.
Lots of flags being thrown and some raw emotion being showed by both football teams after a very hard-fought battle. Just 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go so far, as Davison is going to be kicking back to Romeo.
One of the most exciting things about high school football is the emotion that some of these players show. They're giving their heart and soul out there, putting it all on the field.
And you never know what could happen. No one expected Davison to survive this game, and
Well, yeah,
knock on wood,
they
we're
won.
up 2 touchdowns
Yeah.
with 2 minutes and 30 left to go. So
Yeah, Davison's all about breaking the norm and breaking what people think of them. I mean, no one expected them to be one of the highest scoring teams in the state, but look where they are now. They're
labeled the best offense in the state early in the season. This Cardinals team has been doing a great job so far this game and the season combined.
Yeah, but their offense today has basically just been Caleb Smith. I mean, with those 4 touchdowns, that's
Yeah, Caleb
absolutely
Smith,
insane.
absolutely player of the night. Played his heart out. He's taken hit after hit. has made hit after hit on the other side of the ball, playing both sides. What a great player for this Cardinals team overall.
And they probably could not be more excited to be going to districts and probably facing off against Lapeer again, looking for some redemption. They're going to be coming hot off of this win.
Yep, the winner between Lapeer and Grand Blanc will be playing the winner of this game in the next round. Gabe Hopkins looking to kick.
It's going to be a flag on that play before the
Another
ball was
flag.
kicked. Romeo fans really mad about that, but it's on the Davison kicking team. So, don't know why they're getting so frustrated about that one.
Bulldogs fans visibly upset in the stands.
False start looks like, though, on the Davison kicking team. Going to move him back a couple yards and going to have to do another one.
Cardinals looking to reset their kick again.
Been a lot more flags flying out of the refs' pockets this second half. And like you said, with some of that raw motion and also just getting a little too energetic, getting a little too sloppy. Davison setting up the kick again after that false start there. Hopefully Hopkins can send another one pretty far back. He's been pretty good on those kickoffs today.
Gabe Hopkins kicking deep to the Bulldogs as they're looking to return it about to the 35-yard line.
I just heard over in Lapeer, they're up 42-13 against Grand Blanc, so looks like Davison will be taking them on.
Setting up a huge rematch that went into double overtime last time.
And it's going to be a thriller for sure. It's going to be super emotional, too. I mean, these rivals, and they've had that close game. That could have gone either way. It's going to be nothing but fun to watch.
And not to mention Weingart's going against his former team, who he's lost to the past 2 times.
Yeah, he hasn't faced them in the playoffs yet, so it's going to be a completely different atmosphere. It's
going to be a statement game for the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Number 35 on the kicking team. There was no indication of targeting. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Tons of flags being thrown on each side as raw emotion is being poured out for both football teams at the end of this game. None of the seniors wanting to play their last football game is completely understandable.
Absolutely, especially in such a fashion, too, where the score's been run up by none other than Caleb Smith.
Caleb Smith having a huge game as Brett Miller takes it in the shotgun for the Romeo Bulldogs and is going to be thrown incomplete.
Some good defense there by the Cardinals. They've really stepped up their defense in the second half, and that's what's won them the game, too, not just those Caleb Smith touchdowns. But he has been on defense, though, so that's definitely been helping.
Yeah, Romeo keeps trying to pass the ball, which is not their name of the game. They normally just run it up your throats the whole game, and that's how they found success, but they've been trying to pass it as of late. It's not working for them.
Got a Cardinal down on the field. Looks like Pizzala is not feeling too great after that last play. Might have been a big hit. He's holding his helmet.
Yeah, he did hold his hamstring when he was trying to chase the receiver on the corner route to the left sideline. And I noticed him gingerly walking before he went down.
Yeah, that's the last thing they want, this junior player to go down. He's been pretty good all season. He's been consistent.
He's going to have a nice night to rest up, though, not going to lie.
Yeah, and then the rest of this week, too. Got just under 2.5 minutes left in this half. Davison now up by 2 touchdowns, 35-21. Yeah, I mean, Romeo's a very decorated team in terms of high school football. I mean, they've made the playoffs the last 16 years, and back in 2015, they beat Detroit Cass Tech in the playoffs. But Davison hasn't had as much success in football. The farthest they've been is the semifinals, most recently in 2008 against Muskegon, and they lost that.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge win from the Cardinals, which no one expected to happen, really.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the best thing for them is to make a deep playoff run this year, and the worst comes to worst, when they come out, they have a junior quarterback that's going to go into the senior season with playoff experience, and that's fantastic.
I'm very interested to see what Sullivan's going to be able to do next season for the
Especially,
Cardinals.
yeah, especially without some assets like Pasco and Luttrell and Smith, especially.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Brett Miller back to throw, gets hit as he throws another pass out of bounds.
Some great
As
pass
that's going to
defense
force
there.
a 3rd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, force them to make a bad throw and some great pass defense too, so the receiver can't even catch the ball.
They'd have a better chance just running it up the middle, in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, they don't have the time to do that. They don't have the time.
Well, would you rather get upfield or you're not finding any offense right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do when this defense team or this Davison team is fired up on both ends of the ball. Got just under 2.5 minutes still. 2 minutes 24
Brett
seconds
Miller
left.
fumbles the ball in the backfield, tackled for a loss, and this is going to be 4th and very, very long for the Bulldogs here, as this might be a night.
Almost a
for the
second fumble
Cardinals.
recovered by the Cardinals. Romeo's going to use one of their 3 timeouts left.
Turnovers and flags have came back to bite Romeo late in this game, as that fumble off the punt, as the kicker ran to the right and then just dropped it, and the Cardinals recovered, forcing it to be a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and Davison's really turned around this game. They've started like from the bottom. Coming out of that Lapeer loss, they were bummed out, and now they're really picking up the pace. And after that second quarter, they just were unstoppable.
Yeah, what a great bounce back game by the Cards here. Just over 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter before the lights are out in this football game. Brett Miller lines up in shotgun, what could be one last time in his career.
Some Romeo players hugging on the sideline, really feeling the emotion after this. And these fans are
Another
tired.
flag.
Yeah, these fans are tired of all
Fans
this.
are starting to leave the Bulldog Stadium, as it's been flag after flag here in the past couple minutes. As, like I said, raw emotion is pouring out of these football teams from both sides.
Yeah, just not happy about it. They just want this game to be done.
I mean, it was a full start. Harrison Unger scared him on the edge there, and he fell backwards, what you can't do, and it's a false start.
Yeah, so just going to push them back farther.
This would be 4th and 23. This is going to need a miracle and something else to come back. Brett Miller throwing on the run is going to oversail his receiver, and that might be game for the Bulldogs, as the Cardinals will take over in the Bulldog territory with just over 2 minutes left here.
Yeah, the senior quarterback hasn't seemed too comfortable throwing the ball all game. He's definitely more about relying on those running backs, moving them up the field.
Yeah, Romeo with only 1 timeout as well. This might be lights out for the Romeo football team right now.
Yeah, it's just not looking too good for them. And down 2 touchdowns. And just above 2 minutes left. Not a good situation for them. Yeah, and these Romeo fans are just silent.
Yeah, it's nothing but crickets in the Romeo Stadium here.
That's only for the home side, though. On the visitor side, it's a completely different story. You got the Nest.
The
Came all
Nest
the way out.
came in a blackout tonight, as the away stands is full of black shirts and jerseys.
And they are fired up after this Davison.
And they supported our
fourth
Cardinals
quarter.
through a huge victory today.
Absolutely.
Sullivan taking the snap, handing off to Caleb, which is fumbled. And it looks like it's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs, but might still be a little too late.
Yeah, some sloppy play, but, you know, it might be something just enough for the Bulldogs. You wonder if they get a touchdown off this drive super quick, maybe get an onside kick. You always hear people saying that, but it never really happens. Wonder if they could change that narrative tonight.
Romeo isn't calling it a night yet, as they just recover a fumble, going on a 1st and 10 at about their own 37-yard line.
Romeo's got 2 timeouts to give, so they have plenty of time to generate something off this drive. That is if Miller is able to connect with some passes.
Brett Miller gets lit up in the backfield by senior Logan Pasco, who puts on a huge hit. And the cherry on top for the night for the Cardinals defense.
Yeah,
as he levels Brett Miller into the ground.
Way too indecisive there on that play. Kind of looking back and forth, trying to figure out what to do, and then suddenly Pasco's in his face and bringing him down to the ground.
Pasco is the centerpiece and anchor to this defense. As he goes up the middle again and hits Miller hard as they look for a Hail Mary that's just out of the grasp of number 21, who's looking for the penalty but isn't going to get it.
Some fans looking for a pass interference call, but they're not going to get it. Terry was clean on that play, and some good defense by him, too. Able to stay with that man for most of the time. Oh, and there's a flag out.
I don't know if that was catchable. That might be, yeah, I think that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on number 21, I almost want to say. I almost want to say he said something to the ref as he went by.
He's not happy about that, and neither are the fans.
Definitely not happy about that.
Just waiting for the call here now after that flag was thrown late after the play.
No way they call a pass interference on this, right? It'd be way too late.
Absolutely. It's got to be something about sportsmanship.
Let's hear what the refs got for us.
Illegal block below the waist, number 34 on the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty. Repeats it down.
Bulldogs taking cheap shots, having a chop block 15-yard penalty called on them. That's going to set them back 15 more yards and even deeper in their own territories. It's not looking good for them late in this game.
Yeah,
only 1:37 left to play.
Called on the junior running back, Brian St. Clair. He's had a decent game, but he hasn't been able to generate much in the second quarter.
Brian St. Clair and Zapsky had a great first half for the Bulldogs, but the Cardinals made adjustments and clamped them up after halftime. Brian St. Clair heaves it downfield. That's going to be a free pick for Peyton Pizzala, who takes it upfield and tries to get leveled, makes two Bulldogs hit each other, and tackled just before the 25-yard line.
I believe that's Miller's third pick this game, or second pick. First by Pasco and then by Pizzala.
Great play by the Cardinals defense, and I think this might be the lights out for the Bulldogs with only 1:25 left to play tonight.
Yeah, just not a good scene for him. And it looks like there's an injured Bulldog, too, coming off the field. Just a bad turn of events for them. And I believe they've been shut out in this second half, too, by the Cardinals. Just completely turned it around.
What a great game for this Cardinals football team. Who everyone thought they were going to go 7-3 for the second straight year, but Cardinals are going to go on 8-2 this game into the next round against Lapeer.
Yeah, and I believe that's going to be at Fitzpatrick Field, too. So it's going to be a tough atmosphere away at Lapeer. Last time it was home, and we still lost in double overtime. Wonder how they're going to be going into this one fired up after this big win against Romeo.
I feel like these last 2 minutes have been 10 years with all the penalties and flags and the ref stopping the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 5 minutes ago I said we had 2 minutes left, and it hasn't even been a minute. Now we're just waiting for the call or whatever the ref has in mind. Lots of confusion late game with the officiating crew.
Looks like they tried to switch balls here.
Yeah, just waiting on this.
Ref grabbing the good ball for the game. What a reception by the Whitecap right there. You love to see it.
Absolutely, and the big throw to the other ref and the toss over to the third. What a great play. Just waiting the snap here now.
Slowly taking the snap and shotgun. Trying to ice this game. Gives it to Caleb up the middle, who's brought down for about a 4-yard gain. And the clock is still ticking at 1:19. Or it looks like Romeo does call their second timeout, and they're going to have one more timeout remaining in this ball game.
I feel like that's just salt in the wound, though. It's just kind of delaying the inevitable. I don't know what the timeout would be for. I don't feel like
Romeo is not giving this one up, as they are refusing to lose right now.
Just relentless. Wonder what they're talking over here in this big huddle too.
The
They
whole
got the whole
team
team.
of Romeo's huddled up right now.
And then the Cardinals adjust their offense. You see A.J. Terry busting a move there.
A.J. Terry always has that extra excitement for the Cardinals offense. Whether it's doing dance moves, making impressive catches, or making defenders miss.
Yeah, he caught
He's a
that
great
one in
overall
between his
player.
knees earlier. Fell
Yeah,
onto the
that's a
ground.
new one I never seen before. Between the legs catch. That was crazy.
Saw it in the Super Bowl one time against, or like that, the one the Seahawks were in. That was crazy.
I did see that. That was crazy.
Pretty much the same thing. Sullivan awaiting the snap.
Sullivan in shotgun once again. Wide receivers both sides. Hands it up the middle to Caleb Smith, who just jumps the pile. That's not Caleb Smith.
Carter Kreiderman on that rush. And he's usually the one manning the ball on the ground in these late game scenarios, or in the one where they're just blowing a team
It's
out.
smart to take Caleb out the game here.
Yeah, give him a rest.
Don't
he's
risk
had quite
him
a
getting
night.
hurt for you.
He has had quite a night, and all he needs to do after this is rest. And same with Sullivan. Recovery is going to be important for both of them after this because they've both been banged up pretty good. Sullivan likes to get physical, but he probably needs to tone that down a bit as they go against Lapeer again, because Lapeer is not going to be a joke this time.
Sullivan took some brutal hits this game. I hope he's 100% healthy for the Lapeer game next week.
Yeah, it took some big ones against Lapeer, and then now against Romeo. It's just been week after week. He's been getting
Taking a bruising.
Yeah. Waiting for the Cardinals huddle to come back onto the field. Clock stopped at 1:13. Cardinals up by 14 points after those two impressive touchdowns earlier. The huge run by Caleb Smith and then the fumble, forced fumble and then turned it into a touchdown.
3rd and 5 here for the Cards with 1:13 remaining. They're going to give it up to Carter Kreiderman, who busts the edge and stays in bounds for the Cardinals, who was tackled at about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, and that's an important thing to do, stay on your feet like that when you're getting brought down. A lot of times people just will end up falling flat on their face, but when you're able to stay up on your feet and get those extra couple of yards, it means the world sometimes. You look over on the left, you can't see it on the screen, but their Bulldog tunnel has been deflated. Clock's winding down, just under a minute left in this game. 3rd and 6 in Bulldog territory. Wonder if they're going to get another touchdown. Just some salt in the wound.
Looks like Sullivan might be taking a knee here and sending us off. With 30 seconds left and ticking down.
Complete change of pace from earlier with all those flags.
Final snap. Delay game on the offense.
Going to take the delay game.
Kick a field goal here, give you 3 more points on the board.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Got nothing to lose. Just warm up for Hopkins next week in case they go to overtime again so we can hit them.
Yeah, practice those PATs and them short field goals.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been pretty golden all season. Before today, he had 55 extra points, which is just ridiculous. He was 3rd in the SVL for scoring.
It's crazy. High school kickers are sometimes not that consistent. It's rare to have a great high school kicker like that.
Absolutely.
Looks like Sullivan's not going to have to take the snap here as clock winds down and the Cardinals take the 2-touchdown victory. 35-21, Davison Cardinals.
And look at how excited the Cardinals are. They could not be happier to be going to districts to rematch against Lapeer.
Congratulations, Cardinals. Next week you'll be taking on Lapeer.
Well, I've been Mason Palmetier alongside John Gerke, and the Cardinals are coming out here with the win after beating Romeo 35-21. Have a great night, Davison.
Go Cards.